Yi Mo gave Ning Sishuang a clear mind spell, and only then did she wake up. She grabbed Mo's hand and asked nervously, "Brother-in-law, we're flying!" Yi Mo gave Ning Sishuang a clear mind spell, and only then did she wake up. She grabbed Mo's hand and asked nervously, "Brother-in-law, we're flying!" Yi Mo nodded. "Yes, this is the cultivation I was talking about. Your sister isn't here, so she can't come see you. But if you want to learn, I can teach you." "Of course I want to." Ning Sishuang reacted and said in surprise and joy. She realized why her brother-in-law told her to quit. If she could cultivate, why would she go study? Chu Dan thought for an entire night in her dorm, and the next morning, she ran to Ning Sishuang's dorm. Lu Yin got up and saw it was Chu Dan and immediately looked unhappy. She said coldly, "Chu Dan, Sishuang was moved away because of you. What else do you want?" Chu Dan had an apologetic face. "I came to apologize to her. I regret what I did yesterday. Give her number to me. I will apologize to her personally." Hearing this, everyone in the dorm was dazed. Chu Dan had always been very dominant. It was absurd that she came to apologize. Lu Yen reacted quickly. "No need for apology. After we ate with Sishuang and her brother-in-law, they probably left Ninghai. So you have Sishuang's number, or do you know where her house is?" Chu Dan asked hopefully. Lu Yen was more vigilant. She shook her head. "I had her number, but she doesn't use that phone anymore. She told me that if anyone called her, just let them know that she had already left. As for her house, I don't know." Huh. There was disappointment in Chu Dan's eyes, but she didn't fuss about it. She thanked Lu Yen and left. After Chu Dan left, Lu Yen said, "Do you think this Chu Dan isn't very normal? I won't believe someone like her would apologize. Would this woman be jealous of Ning Sishuang's boyfriend and want to steal him?" Yiming asked. Yi Shaoshan crawled up and suddenly said, "That might really be possible. Chu Dan isn't a good person, and she would never talk to us in such a low manner." Lu Yen rolled her eyes. Sishuang already said that it was her brother-in-law. PFTTT. Chu Dan didn't go back to her dorm, but instead called her father Chu Hang. "Father, do you think there are immortals in this world?" Chu Dan didn't like people being stronger than her, but she respected her father a lot. Chu Hang was just ready to go to his office and received this strange call. Dan, why are you thinking of something this strange in the morning?" "There's a meeting at the company. I'm busy." "Dad, just answer me. Are there people who are able to fly on clouds?" Chu Dan interrupted. Chu Hang frowned, but didn't reproach his daughter. "You can't say it's impossible. Our Chu family ancestor seems to be involved in cultivation. Our Chu family dragon door disc is passed down from our ancestor." Chu Hang said, "You only need to know it's possible. Focus your efforts on studying. It's not something you should be caring about now." "Then, Dad, you taught brother to meditate and practice Qigong. Is that passed down from ancestor?" Siyu Dan asked. Chu Dang agreed. "You don't even want to learn those things. Why are you asking now?" "That's right. It's passed down from our ancestor, but it's only some Qigong to strengthen the body. It's very different than ancient martial arts, and rarely do the people in our family get sick. We live long lives also due to this. If you're interested, I can teach you when I come back." "Dad, if I told you I saw someone fly on the clouds yesterday, would you believe it?" Chu Dan suddenly felt her Chu family wasn't ordinary. "Blasphemy. I'm going to have a meeting. Don't think too much. It's going to affect your studies. We can talk at night." Chu Hang hung up. Chu Dan was dazed for a moment before saying to herself, "I knew you guys wouldn't believe it." At this moment, Yi Mo got the last 2 fishtails and was with Mu En and Ning Sishuang. Mu En saw Yi Mo land in the backyard from the sky with Ning Sishuang and completely believed Yi Mo's words. She really didn't expect there was something such as cultivation in this world. But after knowing that her daughter was no longer on Earth, but on Luoyu continent, she couldn't control her longing for her daughter. However, Ning Sis Huang was getting more and more excited. Stars were about to pop out of her eyes. Looking at the two fish tails, Yemo was thankful to Ning Xuyan. If these two fish tails were lost, it wouldn't be easy to find them even with his spirit sense. Yemo, is it hard to come back after we go to Luo Yu City this time? Muan asked. Yemo shook his head. After going to Luo Yu City, I will be leaving. It's very hard for me to come back, but if you want to go to Ninghai, you can go at any time. However, I suggest not to come back too often. You need to have a peaceful heart for cultivation. Otherwise, your progress won't be much. Who knows when will be the next time I can come back with Jingwen and them? Maybe 10 years, or maybe 100 years. Yemo didn't say that if he ascended into the mortal ascension, it would be even harder to come back to Earth. The dimension was much sturdier in the immortal realm than in the cultivation realm. Brother-in-law, didn't you fly back with me on a cloud? Why is it a flying boat now? Ning Sis Huang thought flying on the clouds was much cooler. Yemo was speechless. Using clouds is not practical. It's slow and wastes cultivation essence. Even though Yemo used a top-grade spirit artifact, they still reached back Luo Yu City in a very short time. Although he had seen Luo Yu City's prosperity in his spirit sense, when he truly saw it, Yemo was still excited. Although he didn't build everything, it was founded by him. Seeing Yemo come back, Ning Zhongfei and Lan Yu's eyes turned red. They wanted to ask Ning Qingshue's whereabouts immediately, but they knew Yemo would tell them. Yemo spent more than half the day explaining to them what he said to Ning Sis Huang and Mu and last night. The couple were disappointed that Qingxue wasn't back, but thinking that if they focused on cultivation, they might be able to see their daughter again. They forced themselves to calm down. Just when Yemo wanted to go see Huang Yinian and them, Lan Yu asked, Yemo, did you see Qi Wanqing there? Yemo immediately remembered and felt guilty. She wasn't his wife, but she went with Jingwen and them to Luo Yu and disappeared. But he never thought of visiting her parents. Her parents came to Luo Yu a few times asking if you were back. Eventually, they just moved to Luo Yu City waiting for you and retiring here, Ning Zhongfei said. Yemo scanned his spirit sense out and soon saw a row of small houses in which Tang Qianping lived. Her face looked very similar to Qi Wanqing, and Yemo guessed she was Qi Wanqing's mother. It should be her father next to Tang Qianping. Yemo frowned. Why are they living on the outskirts? Ning Zhongfei sighed. What's going on? Yemo asked. He had a good impression of Qi Wanqing, and she was lost in Luo Yu continent due to him. He should stand up for Qi Wanqing's parents. What's going on? Yemo asked. He had a good impression of Qi Wanqing, and she was lost in Luo Yu continent due to him. He should stand up for Qi Wanqing's parents. Lan Yu looked at Yemo's face and knew he thought that what happened with the Dongfang family happened again. Lan Yu quickly said, her parents were very worried that Qi Wanqing left. After her father retired, he didn't stay in the military and moved to Luo Yu City. Luo Yu City has become the world's prettiest city under the work of City Lord Huang and them. Muan nodded. Yes, in order to find Jingwen, I came here a few times. I heard that those who live in Luo Yu City have better health on average. Lan Yu nodded. But it's a pity there are too many people wanting to come to Luo Yu City. Because of this, Luo Yu City's land prices are soaring higher and higher. It's not something ordinary people can afford. Wanqing's parents have some savings, but they can't afford a better place. Yemo frowned and asked, Wanqing's mother has a big company and their family is wealthy. How can they not afford to live better? Lan Yu sighed. After Wanqing went missing, her mother didn't have the mind to run her company, and it soon started losing money. Soon, it was taken over by another company. They didn't care about the company profits, so they just came to Luo Yu City. Just when Yemo wanted to talk, his spirit sense scanned that at the center of Luo Yu City, Huang Yinian and them were having a meeting. There was a man in his 30s sitting next to Huang Yinyang. He slammed the table, seeming very angry, but neither Huang Yinian nor Yu Miaodan and them said anything. Instead, they listened to the man yell at them. Yimo was immediately unhappy. Regardless if Huang Yinian was right or wrong, he was the city lord. How dare someone slam the table in front of him? This was too absurd. Huang Yinian led Luoyu City to such prosperity. How could he allow such person to be in the city lord estate meeting? Yimo got up and said to Lan Yu, "Auntie, I'm going to the city lord estate once. I want you to bring Wanqing's parents to live at Luoyu Lake too. It's pretty big after all. Of course. I want you to tell them what I told you. If they want to see Wanqing again, they have to cultivate at Luoyu Lake." Then Yimo took out 3 bottles of pills and gave them to Mu, and Auntie Mu, you've had these pills already. Just give everyone one. Lan Yu and them hadn't seen these pills, but they knew they were substantial. Mu-en was a prime example. They hadn't seen her for so long, and yet she seemed so young. Clearly, this wasn't normal. "Go do what you need to do. I will go check on Wanqing's parents with Zhongfei soon," Lan Yu quickly said. "City Lord Huang, I don't get why not. You've seen the development of Luoyu City in recent years. I'm not wrong. If we change that to be the World Trade and Economic Center, it would boost Luoyu's economy again." The middle-aged man slammed his hand. Huang Yinian waited till the man was done and said, "If I say no, then no. Other places are fine, but not there. Sua Zhen, I know Luoyu's development is inseparable with your planning, but that is non-negotiable." Huang Yinian called him by his full name. Clearly City Lord Huang was unhappy too. Sua Zhen slammed the table again and got up in agitation. He was almost yelling, "City Lord Huang, why is your brain as hard as wood? Luoyu Lake is taking up such a huge place, and only the Ning Zhongfei couple are living there. This is a waste. And Luoyu Lake's owner, Yi Mo, didn't do any procedures. One could say that land belongs to the government. We're not saying they can't live here, but we're just telling them to change places and make Luoyu like the economic center. Look at all these economic policies I've made, which one was wrong?" Yu Miaodan suddenly got up and said, "Sua Zhen, if you dare to call City Lord's name straight out like that, I will remove you from the list of future City Lords. No one who doesn't respect the City Lord deserves to become the City Lord. City Lord is being polite, saying that Luoyu belongs to everyone. But Luoyu City is City Lord Yimo's city. Agree or not, that's the reality." Sua Zhen looked calmly at Yu Miaodan and said, "Does Vice City Lord you think this is a fascist time? You can remove my name however you like. One-person city. Luoyu is now a democratic city. No one dares to call it one-person city." Huang Yinian got up. "I agree with Vice City Lord Yu on this. Luoyu City is one-person city, Yimo's city. No one can change that. Those who agree with us can stand up, those who don't can remain seated." Lu Lin, Guoqi, Li Sandao, Shixia, and Feng Wei got up without hesitation. Shen Qianqian also got up after a slight hesitation. There were more than 10 people in here, and more than half got up. Sua Zhen looked at Shen Qianqian with annoyance. "Director Shen, do you think I'm wrong? During these years, which of my policies didn't encourage the development of Luoyu? Which one was of selfish intent?" Shen Qianqian's face changed, and after a while she said, "Vice City Lord Sua, you're right, and your contribution to Luoyu City these years are undeniable. But I really don't get why you must take that Luoyu Lake. I've said it many times, it's the place that can allow Luoyu to soar into the skies," Saojin said unhappily. Shen Qianqian shook her head. "I don't really mean it when I say I don't get it. Due to your contribution to Luoyu knowing that City Lord Huang, and you won't agree, I haven't said anything. But every meeting, you're trying to force this matter. Oh, then tell me, Director Shen. Everyone sees how wholeheartedly I worked for Luoyu City." "There's nothing I can say." Sua Jin calmed down. Shen Qianqian continued. If it was something else, I would agree, but I owe Brother Yi a great deal. Without him, there wouldn't be me today. I love business, but after all these years, I've already realized my dream. I stay here not for my ideals, but to genuinely help Brother Ye's Luoyu city. Shen Qianqian looked coldly at Suo Zhen. Do you know why I didn't stand up immediately? It's because I really don't want you to have conflict with everyone. Everyone knows Vice City, Lord Suo's capabilities, and this is the main reason City, Lord Huang, lets you off. In here, no one is more suited to be the next city, Lord besides you. But you're doubting who Luoyu City belongs to. I'll tell you right now, Luoyu City is Brother Ye's no matter the time. I know you might not work wholeheartedly for Luoyu City after this, but this is reality. Suo Zhen grunted. No matter what you say, my passion for Luoyu City won't be lesser than any of you. No matter what opinions you have of me, I will still work for Luoyu City. Everyone isn't calm now. I suggest to end the meeting and discuss it next time. Shen Qianqian shook her head. Since I chose to speak out today, I don't intend to discuss it next time. I know what you want. You indeed don't intend to harm Luoyu City, but you're too selfish. Suo Zhen was about to say something, but Shen Qianqian waved her hand. Don't get agitated, let me finish. I'm saying you're selfish because of Luoyu Lake. Brother Yi chose that place himself. It's the best place in Luoyu City. It's not just a place anymore. It's a symbolism of Luoyu's creator. The longer the time passes, the more the citizens of Luoyu City will respect it and you. You want to take it first because that's the best place, but more importantly, your ambitions are too great. You want to replace Brother Yi, and when the World Economic Center is built, people will gradually forget the founder of Luoyu, Yimo, and only remember the person who built this economic center, which would be you. Suo Zhen's face looked bad. This is a democratic world, not individual heroism. Director Shin, please don't say things like that. Shen Qianqian said calmly, You know you're definitely the next city lord, so you just want everyone to remember you. I am the next city lord, but... Suo Zhen grunted. Wrong. You're not the next city lord. A calm voice interrupted him. City Lord Yi. Everyone who stood up called out in surprise and joy. Yi Mo didn't change at all. Instead, he looked even younger. City Lord Yi. Everyone who stood up called out in surprise and joy. Yi Mo didn't change at all. Instead, he looked even younger. Huang Yinian was overjoyed. He didn't expect to be able to see Yi Mo again, as none of those who went to the small world could come back, but Yi Mo came back. Huang Yinian got off his seat without hesitation and said, City Lord Yi, sit here. No one felt strange that Huang Yinian moved aside as Yi Mo was back. City Lord, Yi Mo. Suo Zhen called out in shock. Yi Mo ignored him and smiled. Sister Yu, Lu Lin, Guiqi Li Sandao, Shi Xiu, Feng Wei, Director Qianqian, long time no see. The heavy atmosphere in the meeting room became lightened. After Yi Mo sat down on Huang Yinian's seat and let everyone sit down, he said to Huang Yinian, City Lord Huang, Thank you for leading Luoyu City to such prosperity. Sit beside me. Huang Yinian was overjoyed that Yi Mo approved of his work and sat down next to Yi Mo without hesitation. Seeing Yi Mo sit down in the City Lord's seat without hesitation, there was a sliver of discomfort in Suo Zhen's eyes, but he said nothing. Suo Zhen's discomfort was caught by Li Sandao. Li Sandao sneered. How dare he act like that in front of Yi Mo? Even powerful people like Qian Longtu and Dongfang family were annihilated clean by Yi Mo. There was blood everywhere in this meeting room, but Suo Zhen was too young and didn't see it. Suo Zhen wanted to remove Yi Mo's status in Luoyu City, just because he made some contributions to Luoyu City. He was mad. Luckily, he didn't tell Yi Mo to leave like the Dongfang family, or no one would be able to save him. Yi Mo said, I've left Luoyu for more than 10 years, and Luoyu is looking so prosperous. Clearly everyone here has worked hard. I thank you for that. Luoyu City is our city. We are willing to do all that. Suajin said. How could everyone not know what Suajin meant? He was implying that Luoyu isn't the Luoyu before. It has nothing to do with you. We're not doing this for you, but for Luoyu City. It was natural that capable people were cocky, but this guy dared to try take away Luoyu Lake. This touched Yimo's bottom line. He established Luoyu to build a peaceful environment, but it was important that Qingxue, Luoying, and them liked this environment. Put straightforwardly, he built this place for his family and friends, not to maintain world peace and equality. He wasn't that noble. He didn't allow anyone to assault anyone, especially anyone to assault his family and friends. Huang Yinian heard this and immediately knew things weren't good. Sua Zhan was capable, but his words already angered Yimo, and so he quickly said Luoyu City looks like this today, mostly due to Director Qian and Vice City Lord Suo. Yimo nodded. I heard that Luoyu City land prices are very high. City Lord Yi, tell me the recent policies. Yimo wasn't going to intervene in politics and economy here, but since it involved Luoyu Lake, he wasn't going to go easy. Yes. Huang Yinian sighed. He knew Yimo's character decently. He was old and didn't mind losing some face in front of young people for Luoyu. After all, when he retired, Luoyu would depend on these young people. But the founder was Yimo, and he wouldn't allow anyone to do that. Luoyu City's immigration policy was changed. It's arranged due to assets. Only those with certain financial power can move to Luoyu City. Those poor families can give their residence to wealthier people to live here. Huang Yinian said. Yimo immediately said, coldly, from today on, Luoyu City will stop migration. As for those who forcefully make poorer families move out of Luoyu, kick them out of the city. Yes. Huang Yinian immediately nodded. Huang Yinian knew this would let Luoyu become wealthy rapidly, but it wasn't the best long-term plan. Sua Zhen's face was very bad, but he didn't say anything. He made this policy. Yimo scanned his spirit sense and saw ships loaded with weapons about to leave and immediately asked, why is Luoyu weapons being shipped out? Because our weapons are leading the world and many countries have ordered from us. If we sell weapons, we can earn large amounts of foreign income. Suajin said. Who made this policy? Yimo asked. Suajin immediately replied. I did. Those economic policies that allowed Luoyu to rise up shortly were all made by me. Yes, the reason Luoyu can have today is due to Vice City Lord Sua's economic plans. Due to this, he is the anointed next city lord. Everyone agrees to this, and so does the people of Luoyu. Another man in his 30s got up and said, seeing Yimo look at this person, Yu Miaodong quickly said, this is our new Luoyu commercial vice director, Wanming. He's the next commercial director. He graduated from Harvard University. Yimo said plainly, the next city lord will be Shixiu. The next commercial director will be decided by Xinqian. Choose someone who came from Luoyu. As for Sua Zhen and Wanming, from today onwards, won't have any duties in Luoyu City. City Lord Yi. Sua Zhen got up furiously seeing Yimo kick him out. Luoyu is everyone's. I worked arduously for Luoyu for so many years. What right do you have to do this? You have no position in Luoyu right now and left Luoyu for so many years. What right do you have to point fingers at Luoyu management? Luoyu belongs to everyone, not someone. You have no authority to do this. Yimo said coldly. I said Luoyu is everyone's, not you. Sua Zhen's face was green. Yimo meant that he didn't have the right to say Luoyu is everyone's. Yimo asked Sua Zhen's details. No one knew what Yimo meant, but only Lu Lin. Moments later, a girl came into the meeting room. Luoyu's security was on par with military bases. Yimo was powerful, and thus he could come in without being noticed, but this girl wasn't stopped too. The girl held a paper, but she didn't come in and just read at the door, Suajin, parents are American citizens. graduated at Harvard 13 years ago, and went to Cambridge. After studying for 4 years, he graduated and came to Luoyu. He came into the city lord estate within 3 years due to his knowledge and cleverness. For years ago, he was vice commercial director. 2 years ago, he became vice city lord and was anointed the next city lord. During his term as vice city lord, he was in content with American business tycoon Ersi. Ersi also has another identity. He's a member of a spy organization. Sua Zhen was shivered hearing this. He had only been in contact with Ersi once, and this was investigated. Not only this, but even Ersi's identity was exposed. Just how many secrets were in Luoyu that he didn't know? Luan Ming graduated from Yale 10 years ago. He has been in contact with Medu Sai from the CIA during his time studying. 6 years ago, he came to Luoyu City and became the vice commercial director. The girl read emotionlessly. During their terms, Luan Ming and Sua Zhen spilled military secrets twice and commercial secrets 5 times and used their means to launder few hundred million Luoyu dollars. The Luoyu Safety Department has decided to execute Sua Zhen, Luan Ming, Yu Jinshin, Bu Weizhang. On the day Sua Zhen takes over as city lord and declare publicly their sins. During their terms, Luan Ming and Sua Zhen spilled military secrets twice and commercial secrets 5 times and used their means to launder few hundred million Luoyu dollars. The Luoyu Safety Department has decided to execute Sua Zhen, Luan Ming, Yu Jinshin, Bu Weizhang. On the day Sua Zhen takes over as city lord and declare publicly their sins. Then, the girl bowed and exited the meeting room. The meeting room fell in tense silence. Yi Mo sneered. He could easily make Sua Zhen say what he has done, but he wouldn't be the one managing Luoyu later. Doing this had greater effect on fearing those with bad intentions. After all, the old people would retire and Luoyu needed fresh blood. After the Dongfang family incident, Yi Mo was vigilant. He anointed Lu Lin, and she didn't disappoint him. Although she didn't take any actions, the investigation was very clear. Yu Miaodan and Huang Yinian sighed. After what happened last time, there was no way Yi Mo would let the same thing happen again. It was indeed so. Pity that Sua Zhen, he was indeed capable. The reason Luoyu was so developed was indeed greatly due to Sua Zhen. So even though Sua Zhen made some small mistakes, Huang Yinian pretended he didn't see. But why Yinian didn't know he spilled military secrets. Take him away, Yi Mo said coldly. Sua Zhen yelled, Yi Mo, you have no right to do this to me. You're not a member of Luoyu city government. This is dictatorship. This is desecration of human rights. But no matter how he yelled, he was taken away by Guiqi. Yi Mo shook his head. If this was Mou City, he would have thrown a fireball over already, but this was Luoyu City, and many of them would be managing Luoyu City. If he did this, it wouldn't be good. If he was going to stay here for long term, it was fine, but he was going to leave soon. After that, Yi Mo didn't involve in the discussion of Luoyu matters, but just stayed on the side and listened. He also suggested that Luoyu shouldn't be selling weapons as their main source of income. Luoyu Pharmaceuticals was the best economic source. No matter what Sua Zhen did, when Yi Mo came, all his means were rendered useless. Even if he took over Luoyu Lake, what awaited him would be certain death. Luoyu's Martial Academy not only protected the safety of high authorities in the city, but also protected Yi Mo's Luoyu City. If Sua Zhen took over Luoyu Lake and kicked Yi Mo's family away, how can the Martial Academy let him go? Sua Zhen was dominating politically in Luoyu City, but he didn't know where Luoyu's power truly laid. Even though Yi Mo said nothing, but him sitting here sped up the discussion. Sure, Xiao didn't have Sua Zhen's brains, but there wouldn't be a huge problem with him managing the city. Yi Mo didn't participate in the afternoon discussion and just went back to Luoyu Lake. Qi Wanqing's parents were already here, and they clearly all ate his pills. Qi Wanqing's mother immediately asked Yi Mo where Qi Wanqing was, but Yi Mo didn't know where she was as well. He could only say that she was safe in North Far State, with Little Wolf. In the next few days, Yemo taught them cultivation, and regardless if they had spirit root or not, Yemo gave them a 5-essence pill. During this time, Yemo also spent a week planting 3 extreme grade spirit range below Luoyu Lake and 2 below Luoyu City. Then he set up a level 9 attack formation, level 9 defense formation, and level 9 spirit gathering formation next to Luoyu Lake. He also set up another level 9 attack and defense formation outside Luoyu City. With this, even missiles wouldn't be able to get into Luoyu, plus Luoyu had its own anti-missile system. Luoyu's spirit chi was so dense now that it could compare with South Peace State Pill City. Yi Emo didn't give the Jade card to controlling the formation to the City Lord Estate, but gave it to his father-in-law Ning Zhongfei. After that, Yi Emo was completely free. Although Ning Sis Huang wanted Yi Emo to take her around and fly, but seeing everyone was cultivating, she didn't want to be dropped behind, so she cultivated too. Yi Emo didn't piece together the Yinyang fish. Instead, he found a quiet place and searched for Yun Bing and Ting Ting with his spirit sense. If they weren't living, well, Yi Emo would bring them over, but if they were, he wouldn't disturb them. He spent an entire morning and even left Luoyu City just to cover all the countries on Earth, but Yi Emo was disappointed. He wasn't able to find them. Half a day had passed, and Yi Emo was very tired. He used a spirit recovery pill and rested for half a day before barely recovering his spirit sense. Although he knew Yun Bing wouldn't go back to Beijing and family, but he still decided to go there and ask after he pieced together the Yinyang fish. Yi Emo was level 9 forgery, grandmaster, and formation grandmaster. He readily wanted to know what level Chu Jiyu's forgery and formation skills were at to be able to create such a formation disc. Soon the pieces were connected. Crack, the Yinyang fish had no spirit waves or power, but it closed together tightly. One could not tell that they were pieces just then. This wasn't it. The dull Yinyang fish turned very lustrous after rejoining together. Yi Emo took in a cold breath. He realized that this fish was a disc formation heart. He thought Fish Jump through Dragon Gate was a one-way teleportation formation, but now it seemed he was wrong. He didn't think he would be able to make such a formation disc. Thus, that Chu Jiyu was at least a low-grade immortal formation master. Yi Emo sighed. Compared with Chu Jiyu, his talent wasn't talent. He had this accomplishment today due to luck, but what did Chu Jiyu rely on? He flipped the fish around and was helpless. He could tell this was a space travel formation disc. It had the same use as space transmission rune, but it was better than that. The rune needed extremely powerful spirit chi to activate, but this didn't. Thus, it was clear that either Chu Jiyu didn't know rune making, or he knew that space transmission rune wouldn't work on Earth. So he changed the rune into a formation disc. This not only required solid formation skills, but also very powerful forgery skills and knowledge of tearing dimensions. Yi Emo was helpless because he could tell that the pieces were joined, but he couldn't activate it. This was a formation heart. It still lacked a formation disc. Only when the two combined together could he use this. This meant that he had the fish, but not the gate, and thus he can't jump through it. Yi Emo knew that if his formation skills were a little higher, he would be able to make this formation disc himself. Yi Emo put the fish away and had decided to check on Zaishan again. When he scanned his spirit sense there at his antique shop, he didn't see Zaishan, but his granddaughter Ning was there. In a restaurant outside the Ninghai Uni, Chu Dan's father Chu Hang's face kept changing. In a restaurant outside the Ninghai Uni, Chu Dan's father Chu Hang's face kept changing. Chu Dan sat opposite him but didn't dare to talk. The reason Chu Hang came was because she had thought about things for a week and called him again. This time, Chu Dan said more certainly. She said she definitely saw Yi Emo fly and fly on clouds. He felt his daughter wasn't lying, but he was worried that something was wrong mentally with her, and that's why Chu Hang rushed to Ninghai. I really saw it. I was dumbfounded at the time, so I didn't capture it with my phone. Chu Dan said again. Chu Hang waved his hand. I know you're telling the truth. I checked your university's recording. There was no sign of Ning Sis Huang leaving. As for her brother-in-law, there was no footage of him going in or not. It was though he appeared out of nowhere and disappeared into nothing. Plus, the pictures your university's news department was also blurry. It was too much of a coincidence to say the cameras happened to break at that time. So I know you're telling the truth. Then what do we do? Chu Dan's voice was desperate. Thinking that Ning Sis Huang dropped out of university to pursue cultivation, her heart was burning like fire. She couldn't bear that her opponent was on the path to immortality while she was fighting over an image representative. Chu Hang sighed. We have no way. We can't find the person taking Ning Sis Huang to cultivate, but even if we find him, what can we do? I really didn't expect there is such thing in the world. What does that Ning Sis Huang have? Why was that little girl chosen by the cultivator? Chu Dan asked desperately. Chu Hang knew his daughter better than anyone. He knew that her daughter was being jealous. He felt that she should wake up from this. If she was sunk into this, she perhaps would have no future. Thinking about this, Chu Hang said seriously, Dan, it's said that those cultivators need to balance yin and yang, and thus they're especially interested in virgin girls. So it might not be a bad thing that you did encounter him. If it's a powerful cultivator who wants to take you away, it's useless to even call the police. Chu Dan raised her lips, but didn't argue. She clearly didn't agree to her father's words. As long as she could cultivate, she would be willing to do anything. She even cursed Yimo's eyes. What did Ning Sis Huang have? Her chest was that small and was a far cry compared to her. She still seemed like a baby? That cultivator must be blind to take this little girl. And Ning was playing with a jade in her boredom, but her eyes weren't focused on the jade. Long time no see in Ning. Yi Emma walked in, and she didn't even notice. Seeing this, Ning looked up and immediately recognized Yi Emma. She said in shock, You're Yi Emma? You're back? Yi Emma looked at Ning's necklace. After all these years, it was still the same. Yi Emma nodded. I just came back. Where is your grandpa? You came to find my grandpa. And Ning subconsciously asked, I thought you came to find Chi-Chi. Yi Emma just remembered, how is Chi-Chi? And Ning said dejectedly, she has been missing for more than a decade. Sister Yun brought Ting Ting to find you at Luoyu, but met Ziki, who just came back. She said that you had left Luoyu City. Sister Yun was very disappointed and left with Ting Ting. Ji Chi said she would send Sis Yun back, and they disappeared. You're saying Yun Bing came to Luoyu to find me? Yi Mo asked in shock. MHM. And Ning nodded. Yi Mo fell silent. Missing for more than a decade. Did they go to the teleportation formation at Duanhang Ranges too? A lot of people left Luoyu City to go to the teleportation formation too, including Eru, Zhangjian, Suihuahua, Fangnan, and so. Yun Bing came at that time. Who knows if she went in too? But that also meant that Yun Bing didn't go back to the Yun family, so he didn't need to go visit there. And Ning suddenly said, My grandpa passed away 3 years ago. Did you need something? Hearing this, Yi Mo sighed. On Earth, if you don't cultivate, so what if you live more than 100 years? You would still end up as Earth. Yi Mo asked, I traded the fish your grandpa gave you, and he also gave me a jade card. He said that Zhang Zhihui gave it to him. Do you know where Zhang Zhihui got it? And Ning shook her head. I don't know, I never asked Grandpa about these things. Yi Mo didn't have the mood to stay anymore, and thanked her before turning to leave. And Ning said at this moment, City, Lord Yi. When Sister Yin left, she said that if you came back, you can go to where she lived in Ninghai. She says she has something for you. Although she's gone, but I feel I need to tell you that. Yi Mo nodded and left the shop unhappily. After going back to Luoyu Lake, Yi Mo told Ning Qingshua's parents that he would be leaving Luoyu again. They didn't say anything they knew that Yi Mo couldn't. Stay, and they couldn't leave with him. Perhaps one day, when they reach a level of cultivation, they can leave with Yi Mo to visit their daughter in Mou City. Yi Mo had decided to visit Yunbing's palsy first, and then set up a few level 9 attack formation in the wilderness and attack the void. Then he would try to tear the dimension. If that didn't work, he would go see if he can repair the formation at Duanheng Ranges. Leaving Luoyu, Yi Mo suddenly felt sad. He actually didn't know where his home was, nor where he should go. He didn't fly high. Seagulls passed below his feet on the Indian Ocean. Yi Mo suddenly was shook. Why was he hesitating? He needed to get to Mou City. His wife and friends were all there. Realizing this, Yi Mo's heart opened up. He felt his understanding of state increased, and his domain was perfected more. Yi Mo howled and disappeared on Zisu in the sky. The worst thing for cultivators was hesitation. Luckily, he had been cultivating next to the bitter bamboo, or his mind would have been invaded by the heart demon. Ninghai, Yi Mo was planning to go to Yunbing's house, but his spirit sense scanned Ning Xian. She was still at Ninghai University. Thinking about this, Yi Mo relayed why she was here. She was probably here to find Ning Sishuang. Ning Xian didn't seem to be in a good mood. She probably didn't find Ning Sishuang and was sitting dazedly by the lake. Yi Mo had decided to tell her, but as soon as he walked into the forest, an extremely excited voice stopped him. "Brother-in-law, I found you again. Please don't fly away again. Whatever Sishuang has, I have too. Mine is better than hers." That voice said shakily. It was Chu Dan. He didn't even need to think why she stopped him. Before Yi Mo could talk, Chu Dan suddenly pulled down her top and even half of her blue bra, showing 2 huge snow-white rabbits. Before Yi Mo could talk, Chu Dan suddenly pulled down her top and even half of her blue bra, showing 2 huge snow-white rabbits. The sturdy red points on the white rabbits were very vibrant. Even Yi Mo had to approve that her chest was extremely beautiful. Although Yi Mo could stop her from doing that, he didn't do it. What she did had nothing to do with him. Even if she was going to strip herself naked, it had nothing to do with me. Look, I won't be any worse than Ning Sishuang. I'm a virgin, I definitely am. I promise I will listen to you, and I will do anything you tell me to. Chu Dan said, as though fearing Yi Mo would fly away. Then she reached out her hand to grab his hand, as though wanting to let Yi Mo feel her chest. Yi Mo sneered. How could he let Chu Dan grab his hand? He didn't want to talk to her anymore, but as he was about to leave, Ning Xian ran over. Ning Xian saw Chu Dan with messy clothes and a worried face, and also saw Yi Mo sneering. She was shook. She really didn't understand why Yi Mo was doing this here. Before she could speak, a few other students saw this and also ran over. Ning Xian quickly helped Chu Dan pull up her clothes covering her chest before pulling Yi Mo away. Yi Mo was looking for her anyways, so he didn't resist her pulling him away. When Chu Dan realized what was going on, Yi Mo and Ning Xian had turned a corner and disappeared into the trees. Ning Xian was very worried, harassing a female student in the school and tearing off her bra. If Yi Mo was caught, he would be sent to jail. Yi Mo had the capability to not go jail, but he was Luoyu City Lord. If news got out, he would be ashamed. She really didn't understand why Yi Mo would publicly do this to a girl. Plus, even if Yi Mo did something HWO, could he let other people see it? Yi Mo. Ning Xian's hands were shaky, and her face was very bad. We should leave quickly. If other people see you do this, you're over. Yi Mo sighed and pulled away his hand. Don't worry. Seeing that Yi Mo wasn't worried at all, Ning Xian said more anxiously, It's all too easy to take photos now. We should leave quickly. If you really need it, even I'm fine. Don't do this to students here. Sishuang's parents care about their face. Yi Mo looked at Ning Xian strangely, not expecting her to do this. Ning Xian knew Yi Mo misunderstood her and quickly explained, I'm saying even if you do something to me, you can't do that to the students here or not now. Ning Xian felt she was getting too desperate, so she stopped talking. She knew Yi Mo had understood her meaning. Yi Mo sighed. Compared to the Ning Xian a decade ago, this Ning Xian changed so much. Perhaps due to the fall of the Ning family, she learned a lot of things. Yi Mo waved his hand. Xian, don't worry. I'm not that desperate. It's a misunderstanding before. I came here to find you. Ning Xian didn't believe this at all. First of all, Yi Mo didn't even know she was here. Second, she saw that girl's bra being pulled down. That girl wasn't crazy. Why would she do that to herself? Clearly Yi Mo did it. But before she said anything, Chu Dan ran over. She didn't even tidy up her clothes. Ning Xian's face changed again and wanted to pull Yi Mo away, but Chu Dan ran over and knelt on the ground. Immortal Master, I can do anything. Just please take me in as a disciple. Ning Xian dazed. What was going on? Was this girl mentally challenged? What did she mean kneeling on the ground and calling Yi Mo an immortal master? Looking at her pretty face and desperate eyes, she clearly wasn't mentally ill. It was obvious, just looking at her face, that she was very cunning. Yi Mo knew what Chu Dan wanted, but there was no way he would take someone like her as a disciple. Whether it was what she did to Ning Sis Huang or what she did just then, it all showed that she was a woman who would do anything to get what she wanted. Yi Mo really disliked this. Let's go, Yi Mo said to Ning Xian. Ning Xian also seemed to realize that Yi Mo didn't harass this girl, but this girl did it herself. Seeing that Yi Mo was going to go, Chu Dan was desperate and quickly crawled up to pull Yi Mo's clothes, but she felt that she couldn't move at all. She further confirmed her guess in her heart and was overjoyed and desperate. Immortal Master, my Chu family used to cultivate too. Now, we still have a dragon door disc that was passed down. Chu Dan said desperately. She didn't need to say no more, as Yi Mo stopped. He heard that dragon door disc, and he realized that her name was Chu. Yi Mo turned around, and she was overjoyed. She didn't know why Yi Mo turned around, but she knew she had hope now. Your Chu family has a dragon door disc? Yi Mo asked. Chu Dan quickly said, yes, my Chu family ancestor passed it down. My father called it dragon door disc. If a mortal master wants to take me in as disciple, I can get my father to give the disc to you. I'm also willing to serve by your side. Ning Xian completely realized what was going on. She knew Yi Mo was very powerful, but she was still doubtful about him being an immortal master. She felt quite embarrassed that she thought Yi Mo was very horny before. Where is your house? Yi Mo asked, and Chu Dan felt she could move again. Chu Dan was so overjoyed that her heart was palpitating rapidly. She quickly said Luotsang. Yi Mo didn't expect Chu Dan to be from Luotsang. He had been there a few times and bought a house there. Yi Mo asked again, be specific. Xianyun Road, 763. It's a private mansion. Yi Mo's spirit sense already scanned there. It was a very big private mansion. It was luxurious and had a lot of land. Clearly, the Chu family was very wealthy. Yi Mo scanned his spirit sense in and didn't take much time to find a dragon door disc contained in a huge jade box inside a safety keep in the main bedroom. Just that huge jade box was priceless. Yi Mo saw the dragon door disc and knew it was the thing he was looking for. Yi Mo realized this Chu Dan quite possibly was Chu Jiyu's descendant and Lin Yibin's Wanbei. Thinking about the loyal Lin Yibin, Mo was hesitating. If it was some ordinary person, he would take the dragon door disc and give some compensation. But Lin Yibin was his helpful assistant. He clearly can't agree to her being his disciple. But if he disagreed, he would feel guilty to Lin Yibin. He really didn't like this Chu Dan. Yi Mo said to Chu Dan, go wait for me at the school gates. I'm busy, I'll go find you later. Yi Mo said to Chu Dan, go wait for me at the school gates. I'm busy, I'll go find you later. Chu Dan showed her wits now and led immediately. She knew that if Yi Emo was really going to leave, there was no point of her staying here. Then Ning Xuyen asked in confusion, What is this? How is your company? Yi Emo asked casually. Ning Xuyen nodded. I'm planning to give the Ning Family Corporation to Ning Yang for management. I'm going to move to Luoyu. Yi Emo said casually. Sis Huang has gone back to Luoyu. If you want to go to Luoyu, then go to Luoyu Lake to find Sis Huang. If you want to cultivate, then cultivate with Sis Huang. If you don't want to cultivate, settling in Luoyu is a good choice too. Ning Xuyen shook her head, clearly not interested in cultivation. Yi Emo saw this and didn't say much. I'm going. What already? Ning Xuyen subconsciously asked. Yes, if you have anything you can ask Sishuang's father for help. Goodbye. Yi Emo disappeared in front of her. Ning Xuyen stared dazedly at this scene, and after a long while, she sighed and walked towards the uni gates. Chu Dan stood in the middle of the school gates. Even though the security guards reminded her a few times, she didn't want to move to the side fearing the EMO wouldn't see her. But she knew that it was impossible. She was more scared that EMO didn't take her seriously and forgot about it. Just when she was still nervous, she suddenly felt she was grabbed into the air. She was shook, but then she immediately rejoiced. She guessed that only that brother-in-law would have such heavenly means. EMO wasn't going to give up on her. He could easily take the Dragon Door disc, but he couldn't do that. Even stealing from an ordinary family was lowering his identity. Plus Chu Dan was Lin Yibin's Wanbei. Chu Dan was standing on Yi Mo's flying ship spirit artifact, and although in a better state than Ning Sishuang, she was still shaking. Little did she know that Yi Mo was also excited. He didn't think the Dragon Door disc was so easily obtained. He can easily leave Earth and head to Luoyu continent now. When Chu Dan calmed down, he asked plainly, I do need that Dragon Door disc, but I won't take you in as a disciple. You can either choose to have eternal youth, or I can give you the cultivation resource and cultivation method, and you cultivate yourself. Huh. Chu Dan's joy cooled down by half. She already said she could do everything Ning Sis Huang was doing. Why didn't he want to take her in? I can do everything Sis Huang can do. I can do it better than her. Chu Dan wanted to fight for it regardless. Yi Mo's tone went cold. I'll say it one more last time. Which one do you want? Yi Mo had decided that if Chu Dan was still going to pester him, he would just take the Dragon Door disc and take away both options. He approved of her attitude to cultivate at all costs, but he really dined like her as a person. Her emotional quotient was much higher than Ning Sis Huang, and the second time Yemo asked this, she knew there it was non-negotiable. She said without hesitation, I want cultivation method and resource. She wants dumb. One clearly would preserve her youth if she achieved something in cultivation. Yi Mo nodded. Then go get your Dragon Door disc. We're already here. Chu Dan looked at the mansion in shock. This was clearly her house. How long has it been? And they were here. Chu Hang came home with fatigue, but before he sat down, the maid said, Dan is back. What? Chu Hang asked in shock. He just came back from Ninghai, and when he left his daughter was still at uni. How could she be at home so quickly? How can things be this eerie? Maid asked in shock, CO, didn't you go to Ninghai? I thought you came back with Dan. Dan brought back a friend, and they've been upstairs for 3 hours. What friend? Chu Hang asked nervously. A very handsome young boy. Before she finished, Chu Hang already dashed upstairs. He knew his daughter was in a relationship, and he didn't disapprove, but she was not allowed to bring him home. When he forced open his daughter's room, he remembered that the answer to how she was even here wasn't even solved. Thinking about this, he was cold. Dad, I gave the Dragon Door disc to someone else. Chu Dan said. Chu Hang was furious. He roared, Are you crazy? That's passed down by our ancestor. Who took it? Tell me. I'm going to ask for it back again. Chu Dan put down a few jade bottles and said calmly, "It's that immortal I told you about. I met him again, and he flew me back. He took the Dragon Door disc and gave me a bunch of cultivation resource. Dad, did I do things wrong? At least I can cultivate now." Chu Hang's fury dissipated and he calmed down. He already believed his daughter already. If she wasn't flown back, how could she come back so quickly? "Are you for real? Where is the cultivation method?" Chu Hang asked. Chu Dan pointed her head. "That person is too powerful. He says I can't read jade slips, so he just inserted the cultivation method in my brain. It's as clear as if I'm reading a book. I was just looking at the chi increasing pill." Chu Hang took a cold breath in. "For real?" He suddenly thought of something and asked nervously, "Did he do anything to you, such as—" Chu Dan sneered. "If that happened, it would be great. Dad, I thought you said he would take me as his disciple if I was willing to do anything for him, but he didn't even want to look at me. I really don't get why that Ning Sis Huang is better than me. Even though she's his disciple, I will surpass her with my own effort." Chu Hang took a cold breath in. He felt he was far from understanding his daughter. Yi Mo came to Yunbing's place after taking the Dragon Door disc. There was a layer of dust on everything, and Yi Mo casually swiped them away. That time, he disabled Zheng Wenqiao and another man, and soon, so many years had passed. Yi Mo came into her room. The colors was still so simple, and a picture of her and Ting Ting hung on the wall. Yi Mo took the picture. He would keep it for memory. Suddenly, he saw a faint blue letter stuck behind the photo. Yi Mo opened it and saw, "If you came and still remember us, you can see the letter Yunbing." There was another line of small worlds. "When I was born, you weren't. When you were born, I'm already old. I regret not being born the same time as you and spend every day with you." Yi Mo looked at this and sighed. He couldn't repay her feelings. He couldn't even find her. Yi Mo put the picture and storage ring in his storage ring. When Yi Mo left Ninghai again, he knew that everything here would not be related to him anymore. He was leaving here. There was a lot of people waiting for him at Mo City. Momnets later, Yi Mo came to the depth of the desert, Taklamakan Desert, to activate the formation disc. 1,000 extreme-grade spirit stones were set into a spirit-gathering formation. This formation disc didn't need a lot of spirit chi, but just in case, he still set this up. He only had one chance. 1,000 extreme-grade spirit stones were set into a spirit-gathering formation. This formation disc didn't need a lot of spirit chi, but just in case, he still set this up. He only had one chance. He knew that less than 1% of these spirit stones would be used after the activation, but he didn't mind. Whoever can get those unused spirit stones would be their fortune. These spirit stones can keep one healthy and extend one's life even if they weren't absorbed. Then Yi Mo took out the fish jump through Dragon Gate formation disc and placed the yin-yang fish and the Dragon Door disc together. Yi Mo placed the formation disc in his hand and started inserting cultivation essence. Soon, it left Yi Mo's hand and started spinning quickly. It started off slow, but as it devoured the spirit chi from Yi Mo's spirit gathering formation, it spun rapidly until a faint light enveloped Yi Mo. 15 minutes later, there was a sudden explosion and a black figure disappeared. Nothing was left in this desert, but only the remnant broken Dragon Door disc showed that someone had left here. Yi Mo realized that instant that even if he didn't use extreme-grade spirit stones, this space transmission formation disc would still be useful, but Yi Mo didn't care. He cared about if he could use this opportunity to learn about space transmission. But Yi Mo realized he overestimated himself. Even with his powerful spirit sense, he was a little dizzy. He couldn't check his surrounding at all. If it was some ordinary person, he would have fainted already. Thud! Yi Mo woke up and he found he was on an island. Heartless Sea? Yi Mo looked around and rejoiced. He knew he came back to the Heartless Sea indeed. It didn't teleport him to any big state, and he still landed in the Heartless Sea. Some minor problems probably happened to the space formation disk. Otherwise, he wouldn't be falling into the Heartless Sea. Not everyone could leave the Heartless Sea safely, but Yi Mo didn't mind. He still had a flying ship from Su, and that flying ship's speed is just a little lesser than Blue Moon. With his current power, it would be completely for it to fly back to South Peace State. Yi Mo stood on the coral island and sighed. He just needed to confirm how far South Peace State was. Yi Mo took out a compass and wanted to see where he was in the Heartless Sea. Just a few thousand km ahead, there was a powerful cultivation essence wave. People were fighting. Yi Mo scanned his spirit sense over, and soon he was speechless to find that he knew all three of them. It was a Truth Realization State Level 6 and a Truth Realization State Level 9, wanting to stop a Truth Realization State Level 4 female cultivator. This female cultivator had low cultivation level but was very powerful and charged out of their barricade many times. That Truth Realization State Level 9 and Truth Realization State Level 6 were the cultivators Yi Mo had seen in the Dragon Tin Palace. The female cultivator was the Lost Soul Ruins, nude female cultivator Miao Huijian. After his deal with her, she said he saved her and would forever treat him as her benefactor. Yi Mo didn't mind, as if he didn't save her, she wouldn't let him go. Luckily, she was credible and didn't attack him after he saved her. But even though she was very powerful, she was only Truth Realization State Level 4 and was heaving injured under the combined attacks of the other two cultivators. Yi Mo didn't intend to join this battle, and just when he was about to leave, he saw her flying towards him. Yi Mo immediately knew that her spirit sense scanned him and wanted to use him. Yi Mo cursed her. She completely forgot what she said about him before. Yi Mo hid his power again. He was scared of trouble, but he wasn't scared of these Truth Realization State cultivators. Moments later, they came to where Yi Mo was. "It's you," the three said in unison. Miao Huijian frowned after saying this, but the other two were overjoyed. "I've been searching for you for so long. I finally see you again today. Great, this is great. I'm Lan Chirue, Chitian Island leader." That Truth Realization State, Level 9, quickly said, "Heaven Grade Level 7 Pill King." One that was about to reach Heaven Grade Level 8 Pill King. What was more enticing than this in the Heartless Sea? "I'm Huang Qi of Lin Island." The other Truth Realization State, Level 6, introduced. If it was some ordinary low-level cultivator, he would have kicked him away already. "So it's Island Lord Lan and Island Lord Huang. I didn't expect for us to meet again so quickly." Yi Mo saluted with his fists calmly. He wanted to get back to South Peace State as quickly as possible, but he could ask the two the way. Yi Mo said to Miao Huijian, "Sister Miao, we met again so quickly too." Before she could talk, Lan Chirue laughed. "So Sister Miao is Pill King Ye's friend. Then you're our friend. Apologies for the offense before." Moments later, Miao Huijian realized she went from being hunted to being a friend. Yi Mo hid his power, but Miao Huijian knew Yi Mo was only Cauldron Filling State Level 2. Yi Mo was this young. How could he be a Pill King? "This place isn't very far from my Chitian Island. Come with us to my island, Pill King Yi. It's a shabby island, but we won't mistreat Pill King Yi. We can have a celebration. By the way, you must come, haha." Lan Chirue said. Miao Huijian was locked up in the Lost Soul Ruins, but she knew from these simple words that Yi Mo really was a Pill King, and these two clearly didn't want to let Yi Mo go. Realizing this, Miao Huijian got a headache. She had sworn before to treat Yi Mo as her savior, but she can't even save herself now. Clearly it was impossible to save Yi Mo. But if she didn't help, her oath was very deadly. Divine damnation devouring her heart, that was breaking off her Tao path. Thinking about this, Miao Huijian regretted coming here. Yi Mo smiled plainly. "Very sorry, but I have other business. I can't go with you to your shabby island." Lan Chirui was being humble, saying his island was shabby, and he invited Yemo with underlying threat intentions. This Pilking Yi was too cocky. Lan Chirui's face sunk immediately. Huang Qi suddenly reached out with his cultivation essence giant hand and sneered, "It's not up to you." Yi Emo sneered and released his power. His domain expanded, and before Hang Qi's cultivation essence giant hand reached Yi Emo, it crippled. Immediately, Huang Qi felt he was bound completely. Perfect domain. Huang Qi said in shock, wanting to break free. He did break free, but because of his underestimation, he doesn't have the chance to release his magic artifact. One purple ray flashed and Huang Qi was split in half. An essence spirit was then crushed by Yemo's cultivation essence giant hand. One move, and Huang Qi was dead. No matter how Huang Qi underestimated Yemo, he was a truth realization state, middle stage. Lan Chirui's face looked bad and Miao Huijian was so shocked she couldn't speak. Lan Qirui immediately realized Yemo was definitely a truth realization state cultivator, a very powerful one. He definitely hid his power last time. With Yemo's lethal strike, Lan Chirui estimated that even he was no match for Yemo. Such a powerful truth realization state cultivator and a high-level pill king. Lan Chirui didn't want to be enemies with him. He smiled awkwardly and saluted with his fists. "Since Pill King, you doesn't want to come to my shabby island, then I'll be leaving first." Then he was about to leave, but Yi Emo said calmly, "Island Lord Lan is so free, coming and going as you please." Yi Emo took Huang Qi's storage ring and then flicked Zi Su as he looked calmly at Lan Qirui. Yi Emo took Huang Qi's storage ring and then flicked Zi Su as he looked calmly at Lan Qirui. Lan Qirui's face changed. Although he knew that he was no match for Yi Emo, but Yemo's words were too abusive. He was a truth realization state level 9 cultivator, and he wasn't even allowed to go. Miao Huijian finally woke up from her shock. The age she was at was far older than Lan Chirui and Yi Emo. She wasn't an ancient cultivator, but she had been through countless times. She had never seen a young and dominant cultivator like Yi Emo. A truth realization state, level 9, wasn't even allowed to go in front of him. Even if some cultivator dared to say this, he would be extremely powerful. How many could be young like Yi Emo? At the same time, she also didn't understand she fought with Yi Emo. He was only cauldron filling state level 2 before, so how did he reach truth realization state in such a short time that she can't even see his power level? Pill Kingy, do you want to forcefully keep me here? Lan Chirui said and exploded his power. Yi Emo sneered. His force was powerful, but his domain was weak. In other words, he was a tiger made of paper. Yi Emo was certain that if Yin Su and Lan Chirui fought, Lan Chirui would be killed soon if he doesn't run. "You're right. I'm going to keep you. What are you going to do?" Yi Emo didn't like trouble, but for those who messed with him, he wouldn't mind having some trouble. "You." Lan Chirui's face was red. He said those words and released his power to let Yi Emo know he was a truth realization state level 9 cultivator and let Yi Emo have some concerns. Then he would give something to compensate him and so he can leave. But Yi Emo wasn't affected by his chi at all and still didn't show any respect. Lan Chirui waved his hand and a golden light circulated around his body before landing in his hands. Yi Emo saw it was a pair of phoenix rings. They were entwined in an extreme grade cultivation artifact. Ring shadows flew around Lan Chirui, and even without attacking, the spinning rhythm and the cultivation essence waves made even Miao Huijian dizzy. Seeing this, she felt very lucky that she was even able to escape for that long from Lan Chirui. The ring hadn't attacked, but it already made buzzing sounds, and that force made people feel that if you were encompassed inside, you would be obliterated. Lan Chirui didn't attack and just looked coldly at Yi Emo, meaning that if you want to fight, I'm not scared of you. Yi Emo smiled. He had even fought Suwa and Shen and Shirtaa. This ordinary truth, realization state, level 9, really didn't concern him at all. Yi Mo hacked out with Zisu, illusion cloud Hua mountain strike. Only this move could made Yi Mo feel free. Ever since going into the void, Yi Mo hadn't been able to fight freely. Lan Chirue saw this and released the rings with full power. The golden rings immediately expanded into two nearly 300-meter long golden rings. At the same time, the countless smaller golden rings formed a golden ring pillar, wanting to attack Yi Mo from inside the golden circle. There was an extreme, scorching sensation, and the two 300-meter-long rings had a powerful suction force. Yi Mo sneered and released his power again. With the surge of his cultivation essence, the space around him was about to freeze. Lan Chirue felt his dual rings start to slow down and the two main rings shrink. His face changed greatly. There had been all too many truth realization state cultivators on Luo Yu continent since the ancient times, but which of them could perfect his domain? But now he believed it. Yi Mo truly perfected his domain. His dual rings had been suppressed, and if he can't break free of Yi Mo's domain quickly, they would be completely subjugated. If his magic artifact was subjugated, then he would be in danger. Lan Chirue started burning his essence blood without hesitation. When the dual rings loosened, he breathed easy and was about to retreat. Rumble. Before he retreated, Zisu hacked onto the dual rings. The unfinished ring pillar instantly crippled, splashing golden light everywhere. The purple ray wasn't done yet. It also sliced across Lan Chirue's chest. Splurge! Lan Chirue's cultivation artifact armor was hacked open, bring a stream of blood flying out in the air. At the same time, Lan Chirue's cultivation essence back lashed on him, and he spat blood flying out a few 100 meters. Midway, he ate a pill and quickly yelled, "Pill Kingy! I admit defeat. Please forgive me for my past offense." Yi Mo didn't keep hunting Lan Chirue. He knew that Lan Chirue wasn't heavily injured. If he used his full power, he could kill Lan Chirue, but it would be troublesome. The main thing was that the dual rings were strange, and Yi Mo felt Lan Chirue didn't use its full power, not even half. He didn't know if it was that Lan Chirue couldn't control it or he hid his power. Regardless, if Lan Chirue was willing to pay compensation, then he wouldn't mind letting him go. His main goal now wasn't to fight this island lord, but get back to MOU City. Seeing Yi Mo stopping, Lan Chirue breathed easy. He didn't think of running away from Yi Mo. If he could, then Yi Mo wouldn't be so casual. He was cursing in his heart. Yi Mo, you top-level truth, realization state, cultivator. Why would you be so bored to pretend to be a low-level cultivator? Even if he wanted Yi Mo to concoct pills for him, he would connect with him and show his genuine attitude. Miao Hui Zhen looked at Yi Mo in shock, rejoicing that she didn't try to run away. She didn't expect Yi Mo to be this powerful. She knew how powerful Lan Chirue was, and if it wasn't that she had a few ancient escape techniques, she would have died many times already. Yet, a truth realization state level 9 like this was injured in moments to Yi Mo, and he admitted defeat. Cultivators had pride, and admitting defeat wasn't easy. Lan Chirue hesitated for a long while before taking out a jade box to Yi Mo. "Pill Kingy, you're a level 9 pill king. I happen to have a level 9 spirit herb marrow essence mushroom. Now it's yours, Pill Kingy." Hearing this, Yi Mo's face sunk. It was rather precious in the Heartless Sea. Any spirit herb that was level 9 was precious, but Yi Mo had a whole pile of them in the Golden Page world. Seeing this, Lan Chirue immediately knew things wasn't good. Suddenly, Yi Mo's power rose drastically. Lan Chirue was shook. This power was much more dominant than before. Did Yi Mo not even use his full power? Thinking about this, Lan Chirue didn't dare to hesitate at all and took out a faint blue jade box. "I have something here that Pill King you might be interested in." Yi Emo took the jade box and opened it. He immediately found a rare flame inside. It was Earth Flame, the 16th ranked in the cultivation realm Dragon Heart Flame. It was ranked 16th, but it was very rare as it was from a dragon core. For dragon-related spirit beasts, it was better than Heaven Flame. Yi Emo took the jade box and opened it. He immediately found a rare flame inside. It was Earth Flame, the 16th ranked in the cultivation realm Dragon Heart Flame. It was ranked 16th, but it was very rare as it was from a dragon core. For dragon-related spirit beasts, it was better than Heaven Flame. Yi Emo was very happy seeing the Dragon Heart Flame. Even if he didn't need it, there would be people around him who would need it. Seeing Yi Emo take it, Lan Chirue finally breathed easy and ached in his heart. This was a very hard to get rare flame, and now he lost it for no reason. Lan Chirue didn't want to stay here for a minute, so he smiled awkwardly and saluted with his fists. Pil Kingi, in that case, I won't stay here anymore. Yi Emo immediately nodded and just wanted to agree when Miao Huijian suddenly said, "Wait!" Lan Chirue didn't think much of Miao Huijian, but he had to look at Yi Emo. Yi Emo looked at Miao Huijian in confusion. She said to Yi Emo, "The reason he had that Huang Qi wanted to kill me was because I found a big secret and they wanted to seal my mouth." Lan Chirue's face changed drastically, but he quickly said, "It's no secret, just a few sealed spirit ranges were found under the Lost Soul ruins." Yi Emo heard this and lost interest. He still had tens of extreme grade spirit ranges in his golden page world. If it was some other time, he might be willing to spend some time to get it, but not now. Miao Huijian sneered. "It's definitely not a few spirit ranges. It's a spirit nourishing well with those few spirit ranges there just to preserve it." Hearing this, Yi Emo's heart shook. How could he not know what a spirit nourishing well was? The hardest thing to improve for a cultivator was spirit sense. Spirit sense usually improved slower than your cultivation level. Spirit sense was even more important to cultivators than cultivation essence, so all cultivators would try to improve their spirit sense. There were very few spirit items that could improve one's spirit sense power. Even the spirit recovery pill was just to repair the spirit sense, not improve it. But the spirit nourishing well was something that could increase spirit sense, and it was very rare. If you drank from this well or cultivated next to it, your spirit sense would grow faster than ordinary cultivators, even with a spirit sense cultivation method. What shook Yi Emo was that he knew from Thing there were two types of spirit nourishing wells. One was natural, formed by extreme grade spirit items or spirit chi. Once it was used up, it would completely disappear. Another was formed by the spirit refining pearl, and the value of it was immeasurable. Spirit refining pearls were formed after billions of years with a unique essence spirit chi in the world. Once it had formed, the pearl would form a spirit nourishing well around it with adequate spirit supply. Usually, if someone found a spirit refining pearl, he wouldn't take it away. Instead, he would provide spirit chi to it so it could form the spirit nourishing well. Yi Emo also saw from Thing that once in the immortal realm, the spirit refining pearl could evolve to form higher level spirit nourishing wells. Yi Emo hadn't seen it, but the evolution was formed through countless years, much longer than the lifespan of a cultivator. Yi Emo suppressed his urge for the spirit refining pearl and looked at Lan Chirue calmly. "I was genuine to Island Lord Lan, but you don't seem to be genuine to me." Hearing about the spirit nourishing well, Lan Chirue was also shook. He really didn't know there was that. But hearing Yi Emo's words, he cursed in his heart. "You weren't genuine to me at all." However, he didn't dare to say that and could only say, "I really don't know. A few friends and me saw the sealed spirit ranges. We weren't sure if there was a spirit nourishing well. If Brother Yi is interested, we can go look at it together." Yi Emo nodded. "Since Brother Lan invited me, I'll come with you. After all, more people, more power." Miao Huijian quickly said, I found the spirit nourishing well. I have been in the lost soul ruins for countless years, and I know every corner of it. A long time ago, I felt lost soul ruins was extraordinary, but when I left it, I was heavily injured. Now that I have recovered a little, I came back here to find the spirit nourishing well. But as soon as I found the approximate location, these people found it too. Miao Huijian was very unhappy. If she didn't see Emo today, she might have been annihilated. So they were going to annihilate you. Yi Emo looked coldly at Lan Chirui and asked, "Since brother, you wants to go, then let's hurry." Lan Chirui was more desperate than Yi Emo. If he came to annihilate this woman, and the spirit nourishing well was taken by someone else first, then that would be a tragedy. Then let's go. Yi Emo was also worried that the spirit refining pearl would fall into someone else's hands. Seeing the black flying ship Yi Emo released, Lan Chirui's eyelids fluttered. Luckily, he didn't plan to run. He was certain this flying ship was beyond an extreme grade cultivation artifact. Even though it wasn't a half-immortal artifact, yet it wasn't far from it. Miao Huijian immediately came up to thank Yi Emo. Yi Emo nodded and didn't say much. He didn't know her that well, but he knew she was a cruel woman. They flew for half a day, and their spirit sense could scan to lost soul ruins. Yi Emo was familiar with the path here, and could find a way back to MOU City, even without a compass. Compared to before, the lost soul ruins was more shabby. It was in complete ruins instead of the vague outline of the city he saw before. Once here, Yi Emo's spirit sense scanned to the other three people. Yi Emo was speechless. He knew all three again. It was Teng Yi's father Teng Xiong, Zhuyin Island Lord Jiefeng, and another truth realization state level 7 he saw at the Dragonting Palace. The three stood at a plain gray stone block as though waiting for Lan Chirui and Huang Qi to come back. Seeing this tablet, Yi Emo knew there was a level 9 stealth formation that was broken in not long ago. With the dense spirit qi emitting out, Yi Emo could guess there were a few extreme grade spirit ranges. Island Lord Lan, you actually found Yi Emo. Teng Xiong and the other truth realization state level 7 saw Yi Emo and also looked very happy. They didn't know why Lan Chirui would bring Yi Emo back, but since he appeared, they weren't going to let Lan Chirui keep Yi Emo to himself. How could Lan Chirui not know what they meant? There was a sneer on his mouth, but he didn't speak. Yi Emo just nodded, saluted with his fists to Jiefeng, ignoring Teng Xiong and the truth realization state level 7. Island Lord Jie, long time no see. Yi Emo just nodded, saluted with his fists to Jiefeng, ignoring Teng Xiong and the truth realization state level 7. Island Lord Jie, long time no see. Huh. Jiefeng laughed and came up patting Yi Emo on the shoulder. Brother Yi Emo, long time no see. Thanks for the spirit herb you left last time, allowing my daughter to have a new life. Now that I finally see you again, if you're free, you must come to my island. Yi Emo knew Jiefeng wanted to help him. He knew last time that Teng Xiong and them wanted to forcefully take him away. He probably thought he was forced over here by Lan Chirui, and thus he invited him over to his island as a guest. He's implying that Yi Emo is my guest. If anyone wants to harm him, then he's looking for trouble with me. Seeing Yi Emo only nod to them, Teng Xiong and the truth realization state level 7 were very annoyed. A mere cauldron filling state level 2 dared to be like this, but remember Yi Emo was a level 7 pill king. They forced down their anger. A level 7 pill king was a money-making tree. Just imagine what owning a level 7 pill king in the Heartless Sea meant. Countless high-level beast cultivator and cultivators would come asking for pills, and all sorts of good resources would be provided to him. Seeing that Jiefeng wants to have a peace, Teng Xiong was immediately unhappy. Jiefeng was powerful, but not powerful enough to take on them three. Teng Xiong immediately signaled to Lan Chirui, wanting to join up against Jiefeng, But Lan Chure kept his head low and didn't even look over nor use his spirit sense. Seeing this, both Teng Xiong and Lan Chure were shocked. Jie Feng thought that after saying that, Teng Xiong and them would join up against him. Yi Mo saved his daughter. Regardless if he could save Yi Mo this time, he would do his best. If he really can't, then he would'll feel guilty as he tried his best. But he didn't expect Lan Chure to back out. Jie Feng immediately realized that Lan Chure, definitely Yi Mo, was a pill king and wanted Yi Mo to work for him long time. He didn't want to share Yi Mo with Teng Xiong and Gong Zhe. But if Lan Chure had such thoughts, why bring Yi Mo over? Could he beat Teng Xiong? That was impossible. There were only 16 truth realization state cultivators in this area of the truth realization state, and everyone knew each other. Lan Chure was definitely no match for Teng Xiong. Even Gong just stopped his rage. Even though he wasn't afraid of Lan Chure, he was the weakest here. He didn't believe Teng Xiong would give up Yi Mo easily. As long as Teng Xiong didn't give up on Yi Mo, he would have a way to split some benefits. Yi Mo just smiled and saluted with his fists. "Thank you, Island Lord Jie, but Yi Mo is busy and I'm about to go back." I just heard that Island Lord Lan say he found a few extreme grade spirit ranges here, so I came to earn something wealth and get a few spirit ranges to use. Hearing this, Teng Xiong and Gong Zhe realized that Yi Mo and Lan Chure reached an agreement. He would only help Lan Chure, and because Lan Chure was backing him up, Yi Mo dared to speak like this. Jie Feng was bewildered. With him helping, it was strange that Yi Mo still rejected his offer to help. Even though Lan Chure was a truth realization state level 9, what right did he have to take all the spirit ranges here? But concerning Yi Mo, he didn't talk. Extreme grade spirit ranges were valuable, but if he could use it to not owe Yi Mo anymore, he would be willing to. Teng Xiong knew it was Lan Chure behind this, but he still sneered to Yi Mo. "Little brother Yi, you're so bold. Do you think you can certainly beat Island Lord Jie, Island Lord Gong, and me? Then what do you want?" Yi Mo asked. "We found it first. Since you came last, then you can only wait till we've split it." Teng Xiong said this, expecting Lan Chure to immediately say something. Everyone looked at Lan Chure, wanting to know if he would say something after having his rights to a share taken. But he stood up and said, "I have no objections to Pill King Ye's words." Everyone sneered. It was indeed so. Gong Zhe glanced at Teng Xiong and immediately knew that he was completely furious. Gong Zhe stood out and said, "Island Lord Lan doesn't mind, but I do. Yi Mo, you came last, but you want a few spirit ranges. Do you think you can do whatever you want just because someone is supporting you? No matter how powerful your support is, I, Gong Zhe, will take back the share that belongs to me. What do you think, Island Lord Jie?" Jie Feng felt something was wrong. Unless Lan Chure was crazy or he didn't want to live, he would dare to challenge all of them for a few spirit ranges. Thinking about this, he said loudly, "If these 3 or 4 spirit ranges really belongs to Yi Mo, then I don't mind. I owe brother Yi one." Gong Zhe was shook. He didn't expect Jie Feng would be willing to give up extreme grade spirit range to Lan Chure. But he wasn't an idiot and also realized something was wrong. Yi Mo sneered. "Island Lord Gong's words are like farts. How come I heard that these few spirit ranges are first found by my friend Miao Hui Zhen? Now it becomes you found it first. Is your face thicker than my magic artifact?" Everyone else dazed. Miao Hui Zhen was a truth realization state level 4 who would take her seriously. Gong Zhe's face burst red, but this time he didn't waste time talking with Yi Mo. He looked coldly at Lan Chure and said, "Island Lord Lan, do you think you can ridicule me however you like, just because you're a little stronger than me? I'm truth realization state level 7, but I don't fear Island Lord Lan." Lan Chure sneered, "Gong Zhe, you want to start trouble? I'm not scared of you too." Which ear did you hear me insulting you? Point out someone who heard me insulting you. Am I looking for trouble, or are you? Very well, very well. After being insulted by Cauldron Filling State Level 2 and Lan Chure, Gongja couldn't hold his fury anymore, and a blue magic artifact appeared on his hand. He released it was full power immediately. At the same time, his blue magic artifact turned into a huge club that was covered in lightning that loomed over the nearby 100 meters. Yi Emo happened to be under it. Gongja used his full power immediately as he knew Lan Chure would stop him. Another lightning element magic artifact and a half-extreme grade cultivation artifact. Yi Emo sneered. Jia Feng was shook. Gongja was only truth realization state level 7, so he didn't consider him a threat, but this person had such a powerful magic artifact. The lightning club emitted more than 10 baby arm-sized lightning arcs down. Its power was shocking. Even space itself seemed to be getting unstable. Lan Chure's face changed. He thought he would be able to beat Gongja without trouble, but with this move, Gongja showed power not far from his. Plus, lightning arcs were one of the most powerful offensive means. This meant that Gongja was on par with him. Even if he wanted to beat Gongja, it wouldn't be a quick fight. He might even need to use secret techniques. Everyone looked at Lan Chure. They believed that Yi Emo wouldn't be able to live under such terrifying lightning arc attacks. Seeing Lan Chure's face changed, they realized that Lan Chure's greed really took over his reason. But both Jia Feng and Tang Xiong didn't move. They knew that Lan Chure would save Yi Emo, but the next moment their face changed greatly. Lan Chure didn't move at all. Jia Feng regretted. No matter what, Yi Emo was dead for sure now. He wouldn't even be able to save him in time. Gongja saw that Yi Emo didn't want to dodge at all, and Lan Chure didn't move either, and was very shook. He didn't want to kill Yi Emo, but only wanted to teach Yi Emo a lesson to warn Lan Chure. Gongja saw that Yi Emo didn't want to dodge at all, and Lan Chure didn't move either, and was very shook. He didn't want to kill Yi Emo, but only wanted to teach Yi Emo a lesson to warn Lan Chure. As long as Yi Emo had the will to dodge, he could save him. But Yi Emo didn't even want to move. He didn't even flinch. Yi Emo didn't move because, although these lightning arcs would be enough to kill truth realization state, primary stage cultivators, they were just like a tickle to him. He was God's state body refinement now, and even if he wasn't, devouring lightning source was all too easy for him. These lightning arcs would at most break his clothes. Thud, thud, the lightning arcs fell on Yemo's body and made eerie low thuds. There wasn't the sound of crisp lightning strikes that there was supposed to be. Everyone thought that after that blast, Yi Emo would be turned to dust. But after that vibrant wave of lightning arcs, everyone's was dazed. Yi Emo patted the dust off his shirt and seemed very at ease. Not even his clothes were creased nor a hair out of place. The scene was dead silent. Everyone saw the power of the lightning arcs. No one believed they would be able to dodge it without even creasing their shirt. But Yi Emo did this without a magic artifact or taking any action. He just stood there. Lan Chure's eyes spasmed. He felt he underestimated Yi Emo. Yi Emo was more powerful than he had imagined. Tang Xiong's heart sunk. He realized who Yi Emo's support was. Yi Emo was pretending to be weak this whole time. With this power, not even Jia Feng would be a match for him. He had the power to take a few spirit ranges. He finally realized why Lan Chure kept his head low coming here. He didn't force Yi Emo to come over. Yi Emo forced Lan Chure to lead the way. Jia Feng took a cold breath in. He also felt concerned about the lightning arcs, but Yi Emo was able to take it without moving. Not even truth, realization state, peak stage, cultivators could do this. He felt the same as Tang Xiong. Yi Emo had hit his power. Thinking that he didn't force Yi Emo before, he rejoiced his decision. If he forced Yi Emo and angered Yi Emo, then not only would he not be able to make such a friend, but he would lose his 2 daughters also. The scene was dead silent, as what Yi Emo did wasn't something truth, realization state cultivators could do. This was on the level of a hollow immortal. Gongja was also shook, but the instant he reacted his back was covered in sweat. Before he could retreat, Yi-Mo sneered. You want to retreat after blasting me with lightning? Keep dreaming. Yi-Mo waved his hand, and a lightning sword was released. It was the size of a grown man's arm, and it was black like ink. With a rumble, the lightning sword was about to land on Gongja. The danger of being killed came. Gongja, in his worry, didn't even take back his mace to block this strike. He just wanted to dodge the lightning sword. But the next moment he sweat even more. He felt the space around him turn solid and he could barely move. In that instant, he could only barely move his head aside. With a rumble, the black lightning sword slashed into Gongja's shoulder. Gongja was smashed and etched into solid ground, his entire arm now missing. After spitting blood, Gongja crawled up and quickly took back his magic artifact. Pilkingi, I exit the spirit range Phi. Before Yi-Mo replied, he roared, Palace Lord Tongue, Island Lord Lon, you can't just watch me die. We 5 islands. Gongja knew from what Yi-Mo just showed that he was hugely lucky he wasn't instantly killed. Plus, that was only 1 lightning sword before. If Yi-Mo used a few more, or 10 more, what would he do then? Lan Chirui took a cold breath in. He had other cards, but so did Yi-Mo. This lightning sword was so powerful just with 1, who was certain that Yi-Mo could only use 1. If Yi-Mo used more than 10 and trapped him, wouldn't he be in the same situation as Gongja? Lan Chirui and Tung Xiong instantly realized the situation, and before Yi-Mo could attack again, the 2 stood out and saluted with their fists. Pilkingi, since Island Lord Gong admitted his wrongs already, please have mercy. Yi-Mo did intend to kill Gong to assert dominance, but he had some concerns. He didn't know the relationship between Jie Feng and Tung Xiong and them. He wasn't afraid of Tung Xiong and Lan Chirui, but if the 2 joined forces, he wouldn't have a lot of upper hand. If Jie Feng was involved, then his main purpose would be affected. He came here not to kill, but for the spirit refining pearl. Even if he didn't kill Gongja, he already asserted his dominance, so he nodded. Since you 2 asked, I'll show mercy to this man. If he dares to offend me again, I will crush him. Gongja's face was pale like snow, and now that Yi-Mo finally let him go, he was overjoyed. Seeing this, the 2 breathed easy. They weren't confident in taking on Yi-Mo together. Plus, they hadn't been on good terms with Jie Feng and had long wanted to annihilate Inju Island. If Gongja was dead, they would have 1 less ally. If this balance was broken, it wasn't good. Even though he knew Lan Chirui was forced over by Yi-Mo, Tung Xiong still asked, Island Lord Lan, where did Huang Qi go? Before Lan Chirui could reply, Yi-Mo said coldly, I killed him. Huang Qi had been Lan Chirui's follower, and now the Yi-Mo said he killed him in front of Lan Chirui. Lan Chirui didn't show any expression. Tung Xiong and Gongja all felt fear. They had even dared to try and capture Yi-Mo for pill concoction. Gongja hid on the side, not even daring to overtly eat pills. He was regretful to the extreme. Jie Feng and Tung Xiong, the 2 old foxes, must have seen something and thus didn't make a move. But he didn't think carefully and just jumped straight in. He was very lucky to even be alive. Jie Feng walked up and saluted with his fists to Yi-Mo. I really didn't expect Brother Yi to be this powerful, and I even dared to give you a few pointers. Yi-Mo said, I admire Island Lord Jie's character. I wish to be friends. Island Lord Jie is older than me. If you think we're friends, just call me Yi-Mo. Haha, then I won't be too polite. It's my luck to know a friend like Brother Yi. Jie Feng laughed. Seeing Jie Feng connect with Yi-Mo, Tung Xiong and Lan Chirui's face didn't look good. Tung Xiong quickly said, Pilkingi, there's 4 spirit range, what do you think? Seeing Jiafeng connect with Yi Mo, Tang Xiong and Lan Qirui's face didn't look good. Tang Xiong quickly said, "Pil King Yi, there's 4 spirit range, what do you think?" He only thought of it as a joke when Yi Mo said he wanted all of it, but now he didn't think so. If Yi Mo really wanted all of it, and he had Jiafeng to help him, there was nothing he could do. Yi Mo didn't care about these spirit ranges. If it was before he went into the Void Fissure, he definitely would take all of it, but now he was too wealthy. The reason he said he would take all of it was to assert his dominance and take authority for dividing up the spirit nourishing well. Yi Mo wasn't afraid of these few people, but in the cultivation realm, it was taboo to take everything for yourself. Now that he got what he wanted, as Teng Xiong was asking him how to divide things, Yi Mo wasn't going to stay dominant. If news of the spirit refining pearl got out, it wouldn't be 1 or 2 truth realization states coming. No matter how powerful he was, he couldn't annihilate all truth realization state cultivators. Power was everything in the cultivation realm, but you can't draw too much hate. Throughout history, no matter how powerful the master, if he had too many foes, he didn't end up well. Yi Mo laughed. "How do I dare to divide the things here?" The reason I said that was because I didn't like how some people were being so cocky. Yi Mo continued, "I feel like Palace Lord Ting has a lot of knowledge. His decision would be more considerate than mine." Everyone dazed. What was Yi Mo doing? Even Tang Xiong felt strange. But the following words Yi Mo said made Tang Xiong completely understand. Yi Mo laughed. "Island Lord Gong is very generous and doesn't want a share of this, allowing everyone to have more. But I agree to Palace Lord Tang a lot. Only the first person here has the right to split the things here. I came later than all of you. I don't have the right to divide things. Palace Lord Tang said he came here first. Then I believe it's better for him to divide things." Hearing this, everyone understood what was going on and cursed Yi Mo for being shameless. Yi Mo was not only going to take the good things and still wanted to stand on moral high grounds. He really was someone that didn't want to lose out on anything. Only Jiafeng knew Yi Mo wasn't such person. How could Teng Xiong not know what Yi Mo meant? But if he didn't want to fight with Yi Mo, he would have to speak the truth. He coughed and said in embarrassment, "I'm not the first one here, either. Pil King Ye's friend came here first. In that case, let your friend divide things up." Yi Mo clapped. "Oh, so Sister Meow came first? I almost made a big mistake. Since you all don't have any opinions, then, Sister Meow, please help us divide things." How could Miao Huijian not know what Yi Mo meant? Although she knew Yi Mo came for the spirit nourishing well, she wasn't certain if Yi Mo didn't want the extreme grade spirit ranges at all. So she immediately said, "Pil King Yi saved my life. I believe that no matter what is found here, Pil King Yi gets the first share, and then we can split the rest evenly. How about it?" With this, everyone agreed. Yi Mo was the strongest here and wanted to take all 4 to begin with. Gong Zhu objected and was easily killed. Who dared to say no? It seems Yi Mo was being reasonable everywhere, but this made Tang Xiong very annoyed. He had no choice but to find something to talk. "Pil King Yi, I wonder how my son Ting Yi is." "I don't know." Yi Mo's answer almost made him spit blood, but there was nothing he could do about Yi Mo. Jiafeng felt good and said, "In that case, let's open all the spirit ranges here first." "Okay." Lan Qirui agreed. The huge rock was easily opened, revealing 4 spirit range, but as soon as they showed a huge white jade pond beneath, it was also revealed. It had clearly been there since antiquity, and it was filled more than half with a milky white liquid. "Spirit nourishing pond." People called out at the same time. A faint aroma came, and even Lan Qirui couldn't help calling out. The pond was at almost 700 square meter in size. This was invaluable. Even Tang Yi and Gong Zhi realized that Yi Mo probably already knew there was the spirit nourishing well here. They all looked at Yi Mo. The 4 extreme grade spirit range were already extremely precious things, but it was really nothing to truth realization state level 9 cultivators compared to spirit nourishing well. This was something useful to truth realization state peak stage cultivators. No one wanted to give up on this. Yi Emo saw this and saluted with his fists. I didn't expect there to be spirit nourishing well here. Let me confirm if it's real. Then, Yi Emo jumped into the white jade pond. Everyone saw this, and the corner of their eyes spasmed. This was damaging the well. One only needed to scoop a drop with his finger. But no one questioned Yi Emo for doing this. Yi Emo wasn't trying to damage the well. He was checking where the spirit refining pearl was. He could walk around the pond and test it, but then people would be suspicious. Thus, he jumped into the pond and emitted his powerful domain. He soon noticed something different. The density of the well was the greatest, the furthest away from him. Yi Emo frowned. This uneven distribution of density would soon be noticed if they came down. Thinking about this, Yi Emo stood above the pond and went to the other side before saying, I think I only want 1 spirit range, and as for this spirit nourishing well, I'll only take a quarter. You guys can split the rest. Then Yi Emo set up a few restrictions and separated the 1 quarter that he said was his, and then forcefully used his domain to stir up the remaining 3 quarters, making their density even. Then he landed on his 1 quarter and took an extreme grade spirit range. Yi Emo did things very naturally, and although seeming a little dominant, no one questioned him. Lan Chure even felt lucky that Yi Emo only wanted a quarter, not half. Seeing this, Jia Feng quickly went down and took a quarter from the remaining pond and took a spirit range. I've taken mine. Tung Xiong was the next to go. He took a spirit range and took a third of the remaining liquid. It was Lan Chirue and Miao Huizhen left. Lan Chure looked at Miao Huizhen. We'll split evenly what's left. How about it? Okay. Miao Huizhen agreed without hesitation. Lan Chirue agreed to split evenly, not because of her, but because of Yi Emo. Okay. Miao Huizhen agreed without hesitation. Lan Chirue agreed to split evenly, not because of her, but because of Yi Emo. Soon, the 4 spirit ranges and the spirit nourishing well was divided up. Gongzhi looked at this in jealousy and fury, but didn't dare to say a thing. The reason he was able to stay alive was partly due to Yi Emo not killing him, but also due to Tung Xiong and Lan Chirue helping him. Gongzhi knew how useful the spirit nourishing well was to him. His 5 lightning seal was more powerful the more powerful his spirit sense was, and yet he didn't get any of the well. How could he not be furious? Other than Yi Emo, everyone took out their magic artifact planning to take the well away, but Yi Emo didn't do this. It wasn't that he didn't want to, but he couldn't. He hasn't found the spirit refining pearl yet. Yi Emo was certain it was in his area, but before he found it, he wasn't going to take the well away. But in his area, no one could scan their spirit sense in anymore. What shook everyone was that it was Miao Huizhen who took her portion first. She flew up and saluted with his fists. Miao Huizhen, thank Pilkingyi for helping, but I still have some business now, so I'll be leaving. If I have time, I will come up to thank Pilkingyi personally. Yi Emo nodded and didn't say anything. He didn't expect her to help in the future, but she better not expect him to do anything for her. She was able to take her portion so clearly because she has a powerful magic artifact. Miao Huizhen immediately let out her magic artifact. She knew her predicament well. She was using Yi Mo's relationship with her. If everyone knew that they weren't as close as they thought, she would be in danger. In less than half a minute, she was out of everyone's spirit sense range. Gongzhi saw this and really wanted to chase up, but he looked at Yi Emo and resisted his urge. He didn't want to get killed. Little did Gongzhi know that even if he fought with Miao Huizhen and PW, Yi Emo wasn't going to kill him for that. At most, he would just protect Miao Huizhen. Few seconds later, Jia Feng took his portion and laughed But then his face changed immediately and saluted with his fists. "Brother, something happened at home. I need to go first. If you have the time, please come to my island. Goodbye." Then Jia Feng disappeared into the horizon in a bolt of yellow light. Tung Xiong and Lan Chirui also took their portion, although they didn't know why Yemo didn't take his and was wasting time here, but they didn't want to ask. They saluted with their fists and left. Gongzhe took this opportunity and left with them. Gongzhe was hoping the two would share some with him when Tung Xiong suddenly said, "There's some minor problem at my palace. I need to go. Goodbye, you too." Then he disappeared before anyone could say anything. Lan Tre looked at Gongzhe and said, "Island Lord Gong, my friend Huang Qi died today. I feel sad. We can meet again another time." Then Lan Chirui also disappeared. Gongzhe's heart was itching with anger. Huang Qi had been dead for that long, and this Lan didn't seem sad, but now he had to be sad. But there was nothing he could do. It was already good that they didn't try to attack him. It was impossible to expect them to share some with him. Gongzhe looked at the direction Miao Huizhen left and chased up. He didn't want to challenge EMO, but he could certainly beat that truth realization state level 4. Yi Mo was desperate. The spirit refining pearl seemed to have hit itself. The spirit nourishing well was precious, but it would be used up one day. If he had the spirit refining pearl, it would be a different story. Yi Mo searched the bottom of the pond more than 10 times, but still didn't find the spirit refining pearl. This place was clearly set up with the pearl. How could it be like this? Yi Mo scanned his spirit sense into other areas and still didn't find anything. Yi Mo was very disappointed and just forged a huge jade well in the Golden Page world and put all the liquid inside. There was still nothing at the bottom. Was he really wrong? There was no spirit refining pearl. Just when Yi Mo was confused, 2 rays of lights flashed across the sky of the Lost Soul ruins. But then they turned back and landed next to White Jade Pond. "It's you," one of them blurted out. Seeing this bearded cultivator who recognized him, Yi Mo sneered. There was the path to heaven that this guy didn't take, and he had to choose the path to hell. When he was sending off Meng Qi, there was this guy hunting Bien Fengta. He was disaster transformation state level 1 at the time, but now he was disaster transformation state level 2. The other cultivator had loose hair and a sharp mouth. Clearly he was a beast cultivator, but he was much more powerful than the bearded cultivator. He was disaster transformation state level 4. "You know this person?" The disaster transformation state level 4 beast cultivator asked. The bearded cultivator laughed. "This guy is only body condensation state. He hid his power. He's an insect that escaped from me. But I encountered him today. He's really unlucky." He was beaten away by Yi Mo and Bien Fengta before, but now he shamelessly claimed Yi Mo, ran away. The beast cultivator just looked at the white jade pond and said, "I suspect there was spirit nourishing well here. It has a strange smell." Then he wiped his finger on the pond and put it into his mouth. Moments later, his face changed greatly. It's spirit nourishing well indeed. The next moment, his eyes stared deadly at Yi Mo. The bearded cultivator couldn't lose his mouth. He was overjoyed and yelled at Yi Mo, "Speak! Did you take the things here?" Before he finished, Yi Mo already hacked out with Zisu. He didn't need to use Zisu against 2 disaster transformation state, but he felt annoyed not finding the spirit refining pearl, and this bearded guy dared to waste his time. Thud! Purple ray flashed and blood splashed in the air. When the blood was gone, the bearded cultivator was gone. The sturdy rock bed showed a ravine that was 100 meters deep, nothing else. Yi Mo's strike hacked this disaster transformation state level 2 to nothing. His armor, storage ring, all was gone. Seeing this, the sharp-mouthed beast cultivator was dazed, and moments later, he reacted, quickly retreating and saying to Yi Mo, "Wanbei didn't know Qianbei was here. Sorry for offending you. I will leave now." How could Yi Mo let him go? A lightning sword flew out. The disaster transformation state level 4 saw this and quickly broke a rune saying, "You can't kill me. I'm from the Peng Island." Yi Mo would even dare to fight Suo Enshan. What was Peng Island to him? Crack, that disaster transformation state, level 4 beast cultivator retreated a few hundred meters away and had his soul destroyed by Yi Mo's lightning arc. His rune wasn't able to activate at all under Yi Mo's powerful domain. Crack, that disaster transformation state, level 4 beast cultivator retreated a few hundred meters away and had his soul destroyed by Yi Mo's lightning arc. His rune wasn't able to activate at all under Yi Mo's powerful domain. At the same time this beast cultivator was killed, on a huge island in the Heartless Sea, a dominating force rose into the sky. A coarse woman's voice sounded, "You're asking to die." Then it dashed out from the island and instantly disappeared. Yi Mo felt a little more comfortable after killing the two insects, but soon he noticed something was wrong. The place he hacked open was 100 meters deep, but they were all blue, sturdy rocks. Clearly, something was wrong. Yi Mo scanned his spirit sense inside, and moments later, he found drops of blue water stuck to the crevice. Spirit nourishing well. Yi Mo called out in surprise and joy. This was the real spirit nourishing well. What they took was just the liquid gathered after countless years. Yi Mo's surprise and joy was no lesser than when he first saw the bitter bamboo. The cultivator who had the spirit refining pearl was very smart and didn't put the pearl in the jade pond. Without hesitation, Yi Mo hacked out, but he controlled his sword chi to not harm the spirit refining pearl. The place was hacked opened again, and a blue pearl sat peacefully embedded in the wall. A drop of colorless liquid just dripped down. Spirit refining pearl. Yi Mo couldn't control his joy anymore, and took that pearl into a jade box without hesitation and put it in his golden page world. The colorless liquid was the real spirit nourishing well liquid. The liquid, filtered by the blue rock, would be much less effective. After getting this, Yi Mo didn't want to stop at all. He released his black flying ship and disappeared from the Lost Soul ruins. Not long after Yi Mo left, another dashing light appeared. It was extremely fast. It was a skinny female cultivator wearing a pink dress. She didn't have any jewelries on her, but her eyes had this superiority that no one could compare. She landed next to the charred body and said hatefully, a lighting element cultivator, "How dare you kill me, son? I will eat you alive." Then she held again. Then her eyes landed on the empty white jade pond, and her eyes became furious. "So my son found the spirit nourishing well first, and this person killed my son. Very well. You, Zijin, will annihilate you all." The next moment, she jumped inside the well and sniffed everywhere. After half a minute, she got up abruptly and said, "It's Zhu Yin Island Jiafeng and Dragon Ting Palace Ting Xiong and Qi Tian Island Lawn killing my son together. There's another nasty woman that I can't identify." Yi Mo had been cultivating under the bitter bamboo, and his chi was one with nature. Although he left last and was the true culprit, Yu Zijin didn't recognize her instead. Yi Mo didn't know that he killed the beast cultivator, but the consequence would be taken by the other few people. Yi Mo left this region of the sea and headed towards the South Peace State. Gong Zhou was very annoyed. Although he was heavily injured by Yi Mo, he recovered by 70%, other his arm being unable to regenerate. He believed that if he chased up to that female cultivator, he would be able to rob the spirit nourishing well from her. But he had been chasing for 2 hours, and there was no sign of her. He was helpless, and just when he wanted to return to his island, his spirit sense scanned a pink dashing light. He rejoiced and immediately chased up. Miao Huizhen also wore pink, and thus he thought it was her. What Gongja didn't expect was that as soon as he moved, that pink figure dashed to him instead. Moments later, that pink figure stopped in front of him. Gongja immediately recognized this female cultivator within a tens of million of kilometer radius of this heartless region. No one dared to mess with her. She was Peng Island Yu Zizhen. Gong Zhi greet Yu Qianbei. Gong Zhi cursed himself for being unlucky. Yu Zizhen looked coldly at him and said, "Where did Dayu come from?" If it was some other time, Yu Zizhen wouldn't want to waste time with Gong Zhi, but today she was full of fury. Gong Zhi quickly said, "One Bei just came from Lost Soul Ruins. I'm so lucky to encounter Qianbei." "You came from Lost Soul Ruins." Yu Zizhen raised her voice to a sharp level. Gong Zhi didn't know what she meant and could only say respectfully, "Yes, One Bei did come from Lost Soul Ruins indeed." "Who else went there?" Her voice was getting cold. Gong Zhi didn't hide anything and said, "Dragon Ting Palace Lord Tang, Yutian Island Lord Lan, Zhuyin Island Lord Jie, and one male and female cultivator." Speaking of this, Gong Zhi suddenly thought, he didn't get any of the spirit-nourishing well before. Now that Yu Zizhen was here, why don't he bring the disaster to them so they can't live well? Perhaps that Yu wasn't gone yet and was caught by Yu Zizhen. No matter how powerful Yemo was, he wouldn't be a match for Yu Zizhen, right? Suddenly, Yu Zizhen said coldly, "I didn't expect you to be able to hide from me about going to Lost Soul Ruins. I heard you have a 5 lightning seal that can shoot out lightning arcs, right?" Gong Zhi also realized something was wrong, and just when he wanted to talk, he felt cold. He felt the discomfort of being bound by domain already. Gong Zhi immediately realized his situation and ran his cultivation essence like crazy, wanting to release his 5 lightning seal. But as soon as he broke free from her domain, he was hit by her gray handkerchief. Arg! A terrifying howl sounded, and as soon as Gong Zhi's essence spirit came out, it was crushed by Yu Zizhen's cultivation essence giant hand. He didn't even get a chance to explain himself and was killed by this crazy woman. Compared to this woman, Yi Mo was a righteous judge. She casually took Gong Zhi's storage ring and couldn't even be bothered checking. Lan Chirue was rejoicing over his loot today when a sudden rumble sounded. Lan Chirue got up. He felt his island was under attack. He was an overlord in this region, other than Yi Mo, that madman who had dared to attack his formation. "Lan Chirue, hand over your life." A furious voice interrupted Lan Chirue's thoughts. "Peng Island, Yu Zizhen?" Lan Chirue flew out and saw who attacked his island. His face changed greatly. Rumble. Another terrifying explosion sounded, and Yu Zizhen's handkerchief smashed down from the heavens. The defense formation immediately showed a crack. Before Lan Chirue could speak, that handkerchief smashed down again. Before Lan Chirue could speak, that handkerchief smashed down again. With a rumble, the island formation shook and the formation was about to crack. With a few more attacks, this formation was about to completely cripple. How could Lan Chirue allow Yu Zizhen to keep attacking? He charged out of the island and released his dual rings, stopping a wave of the black handkerchief. Crack! The 2 magic artifact clashed together and there was a cracking sound. Lan Chirue flew back and smashed on the defense formation. Lan Chirue calmed his cultivation essence and desperately said, "Big sister, you're Qianbei. What's the reason for attacking my island like this?" "What's the reason?" Yu Zizhen repeated. "You along with Tang Xiong, Jiefeng, and them killed my son. Is it wrong for me to get revenge for my son?" Lan Chirue dazed. He just realized that her son was killed, and this unreasonable woman assumed that he killed him. Was her son an immortal, needing the combined force of a few truth realization state cultivators? She was being too absurd. Lan Chirue was only dazed for a moment, and Yu Zizhen grunted. Her cultivation essence splashed out, and even with his power, Lan Chirue felt it difficult to breathe. In his shock, Lan Chirue roared, "Big sister, you, if I killed your son, I won't die a good death and will die to the next divine damnation. He felt extremely oppressed being forced to say an oath, but he had to make it. He knew this woman had a simplistic brain, but was very powerful and cruel. Hearing this, her magic artifact slowed down. She didn't need long to kill him, and he wouldn't be able to escape from her. Thinking about this, she sealed all of the space here with her domain and said coldly, "If you dare to speak any lies, I will crush your island." So unreasonable. Lan Chirué was furious, but there was nothing he could do. Lan Chirué suppressed his anger and said in an amicable tone, "Big sister, I just came from Lost Soul Ruins, and during this time I didn't see him at all. How could I have killed him? Plus, your son is very handsome. I might be dumb, but how can I not recognize him? How would I dare to kill him? Big sister, you dominates the heartless sea. If I killed him, how could you not know?" Yu Zizhen had always been dominant and would rather kill the wrong people than let one possibility go. Lan Chirué's words woke her up a bit. She felt that Lan Quri really didn't kill her son. Even Gongzhe was probably innocent. But even so, she didn't care about who was wrongly killed. She calmed down her tone and asked, "Then, who killed my son at Lost Soul Ruins?" Lan Chirué cursed, thinking, how would I know? But he didn't dare to say that. He rejoiced about not lying. Yu Zizhen really went to Lost Soul Ruins. It was said that her nose was very sensitive. He even told her about finding the spirit nourishing well at the Lost Soul Ruins, but said after they all left, only Yemo was still there. He had the same intention as Gongzhe, wanting Yu Zizhen to fight Yemo. He described Yemo as someone who would kill anyone who showed him the slightest disrespect. Lan Chirué didn't say Yemo killed her son, but all his words implied that. Where is Yemo from? Yu Zizhen's killing intent rose. Seeing this, Lan Chirué breathed easy instead. He knew her killing intent wasn't targeted at him. He quickly said that Yemo didn't say where he came from, but I guess he's probably from South Peace State. By the way, he's close with Jiefeng. Perhaps he might be visiting him there. "Hand the spirit nourishing well over," Yu Zizhen said expressionlessly. "Huh, big sister you." Lan Chirué dazed. He lost his dragon heart flame and was almost killed by Yemo to get this. Now it was going to be taken away? Yu Zizhen sneered and her power rose again. The black handkerchief was crushing space itself around here. Lan Chirué didn't dare to say any more and threw a bottle over at Yu Zizhen. "It's inside." Yu Zizhen took it and didn't even open it before disappearing. She was certain that Lan Chirué didn't dare to trick her. Looking at her disappear, Lan Chirué sneered. This old thing was so cocky just because she was powerful, condescending to everyone. He just gave her an ordinary bottle of spirit wine, but that old thing didn't even check it. She was so certain he didn't dare to trick her. "I'll give up you, Tian Island," Lan Chirué said hatefully, dispersing his few close people and disappearing on his magic artifact. If there was someone to help Yemo control the flying ship, Yemo would go into the Golden Page world to test the spirit nourishing well. But he was by himself now, so he could only hold up on the thought. He was truth realization state power now, and so even though this flying ship was weaker than his Blue Moon, Yemo brought it to a speed just a bit slower than Blue Moon. In less than a month, Yemo arrived at the coral island Mengqi left. Yemo was desperate to go back, so he didn't plan to stay here. But when he saw there were 2 people here, he was surprised. This island was deprived of spirit qi. Who would stay here? Jing Xueqing? Yemo's spirit sense scanned one person and almost called out. But then he realized that this person wasn't Jing Xueqing. Jing Xueqing was a male, but this was a woman. She was only hollow spirit state level 9, but she looked almost exactly Jing Xueqing. The only thing was she was darker than Jing Xueqing. She wasn't ugly, but she wasn't pretty either. There was a wrinkly man next to her. He was disaster, transformation state, level 7. He knew she must be related to Jing Xueqing. Jing Xueqing was very generous and gave him a jade card for protection. He even said that if Yong Lanyi dared to do anything to him, he could go to Songhai Palace for protection. He clearly knew he killed Yong Wuzi and still dared to help him. Clearly he was a true friend. Yi Mo immediately landed on his island. The two cultivators were very wary and stood vigilantly. Watching Yi Mo didn't put away his flying ship and saluted with his fists. "Are you two from the Songhai Palace?" The wrinkly man looked at Yi Mo's flying ship and was a little shocked. But that shock soon disappeared, and he answered carefully, "We don't seem to have seen this friend before. Is there anything you need?" Yi Mo smiled. "I have a friend at Songhai Palace called Jing Xueqing. Do you two know him?" "You're my brother's friend?" the female cultivator asked in surprise, so quickly that the man couldn't even stop her. She was confused. Since when did her brother have a friend who could cross the Heartless Sea? How could she not know the danger of the Heartless Sea? Her Uncle Hai had been very careful taking her here. Yet this person just overtly flew over in his flying ship. She was indeed Jing Xueqing's sister, he guessed right. Yi Mo took out a jade card and said, "Look at this, and you would know. Jing Xueqing gave this to me." She was indeed Jing Xueqing's sister, he guessed right. Yi Mo took out a jade card and said, "Look at this, and you would know. Jing Xueqing gave this to me." "It really is my brother's identity jade card," the female cultivator called out in joy. Then she seemed to remember something and looked at Yi Mo in surprise. "Are you Yi Mo, the one who escaped from the Chu 18 discs?" Her brother didn't give out his jade card casually, but ever since her brother came back from the Chu 18 discs, he said he met a hero called Yi Mo. That Yi Mo dared to kill Yong Wuzi at the Chu 18 discs and knew formations very well. He really wanted to be friends with Yi Mo, so he gave out his card. The reason she didn't remember earlier was because her brother said Yi Mo was only body condensation state. A body condensation state cultivator dared to cross the Heartless Sea. Clearly he was mad. Yi Mo nodded. "That's right, I'm Yi Mo. I happened to go past here, and I saw you looked very like Brother Jing, so I came to ask, is Brother Jing all right? I was planning to go to Songhai Palace this time, but there's some emergency, so I can only wait till next time." He was Truth Realization State, Level 3, and a forgery Grandmaster. He was going to reforge his Blue Moon and make it true half-immortal artifact. By then, he would be able to come and go in the Heartless Sea freely. Jing Xuexiang wanted to ask how Yi Mo could cross the Heartless Sea with only body condensation state power, but Yi Mo's words brought out her sadness. She sniffed. "I don't know if my brother is alive or dead now. The Songhai Palace isn't the same Songhai Palace." Yi Mo heard this and frowned. "Your father Jing Xiangdong is the big palace lord who would dare to do anything to your brother." The disaster transformation state, Level 7, realized Yi Mo was a friend, not an enemy, so he said, "This is a long story, let's sit down first." Yi Mo was desperate to go home, but he can't just leave this matter aside when Jing Xueqing was in trouble. He nodded, "Okay." Yi Mo waved out 3 black stones and said, "Please have a seat." Seeing the stone stools, Yi Mo casually waved out. The two's eyes spasmed. The stools he threw out casually were made from Level 7 material, void black star rock. It was very rare in the cultivation realm, and yet such material was made into stools. What more extravagance was this? Compared to the Black Rock City, though, this was nothing, as the entire city was made from the void black star rock. Jing Zihuixiang sat down and said, "Carefully, brother. Yi, I'm Jing Zhuixiang, and this my family's manager Jing Hai." Yi Mo nodded. "Tell me about your brother." She nodded. Her eyes were red. She clearly heard thought before saying, "After the Chu 18 discs, the Sea Cultivator Alliance had internal conflict, and were dispersed and taken in by the Songhai cult. Hearing this, Yi Mo nodded he knew about this. After that, our Songhai palace seemed alone and weak. Then Yonglani came to visit us. My father didn't mind, but he didn't expect the third palace lord to join up with Yonglani to ambush my father, and the second palace, Lord Chang, Huaining. Yi Mo frowned. Yonglani was this hot-tempered. How could he have such calculations? Did he want to take over the Songhai palace too? My father was heavily injured, but he wasn't scared. However, Yonglani already had people hiding at the outskirts of the 3 islands. They would immediately come out to suppress the resistance. Those people who showed slight resistance would be killed. With the help of the third palace lord, countless died in the Songhai island. My brother was caught on the spot, and I don't know if he's still alive. Jing Zihuxiang wiped her eyes. Yi Mo asked heavily, "How did you get out?" Uncle Hai got first-hand news, and immediately used a space transmission rune taking me away from the Songhai palace. But we don't dare to cross the Heartless Sea, so we can only search for an opportunity to leave the Heartless Sea on this island. Jing Zhuxiang answered. How long has it been? Yi Mo asked. Jing Hai quickly answered. It's been nearly a year. We used a year to get here. Yi Mo nodded. Without extreme grade flying cultivation artifact and staying discreet, it wasn't easy to get here for a disaster transformation state level 7 cultivator. Thinking about this, Yi Mo got up. I'm going to go to Songhai Palace. You two can come with me. You're going to save my brother? Jing Zhuxiang got up in joy. Yi Mo nodded. Your brother Jing Xueqing is my friend. Now that he's in danger, of course, I need to help. Plus, I have great enmity with Yonglani. Even without your brother's matters, I won't let this person go. I said I would be back when I left. Jing Zhuxiang had calmed down now and said in hesitation, but Yonglani and Third Palace Lord Wulin are both Truth Realization State Level 9. That Yonglani is Truth Realization State Peak Stage, your only body condensation state. Yi Mo heard this and looked at the disappointed Jing Hai and immediately knew that they thought he was being hot-headed. Perhaps Jing Hai just wanted him to take them away to safety first. Realizing this, Yi Mo couldn't be bothered explaining. He took away the stone stools and said, In the Heartless Sea, this place is rather safe, but it would still be dangerous if you stay here for too long. If you're willing, I suggest you come with me to Songhai Palace. Of course. If not, I can give a top-grade flying cultivation artifact to you guys. Hearing this, Jing Hai took a cold breath in, giving out a top-grade flying cultivation artifact so easily. Who did this Yi Mo think he was? Was he really this wealthy? Jing Zhuxiang didn't think that much, and immediately, I'm willing. Even if I die, I'm going to see my brother and my mom. Okay, then let's go. Yi Mo got on his flying ship. Seeing Jing Zihuxiang go in too, Jing Hai had no choice but to go in as well. But Yi Mo was right. Even if they didn't go, how long could they hide with their power? Yi Mo was just about to start up the flying ship when a black figure dashed out of the sea charging at the flying ship. Level 9 Spirit Beast 8 Horned Octopus? Jing Zhuxiang screamed out. Even Uncle Hai would need half a day to annihilate it. If there was more, they would only be able to hide. Uncle Hai. Jing Zihuxiang subconsciously called. Jing Hai wanted to see Mo attack, but the octopus was too fast. If he hesitated, it might injure Jing Zhuxiang, so he immediately released his magic artifact. But before he could attack, Yi Mo threw a wind blade over. Blood splashed, and that ferocious octopus was sliced in half like tofu. A beast core flew into Yi Mo's hand. Yi Mo seemed to have done something very casual as the flying ship sped off. Jing Hai was completely dumbfounded. What power was this? Killing a level 9 spirit beast in one move using the simplest wind blade? At this moment, he was looking at Yi Mo with some reverence. He didn't seem to a brainless idiot. Brother Yi, what power level are you at? Jing Zhuoxiang was also very shocked, killing a level 9 spirit beast with one wind blade. Even her father was at most at this level. Brother Yi, what power level are you at? Jing Zhuoxiang was also very shocked, killing a level 9 spirit beast with one wind blade. Even her father was at most at this level. Yi Mo smiled and said, I'm truth realization state power. Don't worry, I will kill that Yong Lani for sure. Jing Hai took in a cold breath. The Chu 18 discs only allowed cultivators who were within 100 years of age to enter. Yi Mo was clearly not 100 to be able to go in. A truth realization state cultivator not even 100 years old. Jing Hai didn't dare to keep thinking. Even he had never heard of such absurd cultivator. So you're a truth realization state cultivator. My brother wanted my father to help you. Jing Zhuoxiang exclaimed. Yi Mo didn't explain. He knew that if he couldn't leave the Chu 18 discs, then he would really need Jing Xueqing to help him. But he didn't know if Jing Xueqing's father would fight with Yong Lani for him. Regardless, it was a silver lining for Yi Mo. Yi Mo took less than half a month to travel the distance the two needed a year to traverse. They were now at an island region. Yi Mo slowed down. Jing Zhuoxiang stood at the head of the ship and pointed at a huge, tall, black shape, saying, That's the main palace of the Songhai Palace. My father was killed here by Wu Lin, that bastard. As soon as she said this, a dashing light appeared before the flying ship. It was an extreme grade spirit artifact flying ship. A middle-aged man stood atop it, and seeing Yi Mo's flying ship, there was surprise in his eyes. He immediately saw Jing Zhuoxiang and called out in surprise, Is Mistress Zhuoxiang inside? Hearing this voice, Jing Zhuoxiang got up and said in surprise and joy, It's me, your patrol, Guard Wang. Yi Mo didn't attack, seeing Jing Zhuoxiang knew this person. He was about to fling him over. It really is Mistress Zhuoxiang. You should quickly leave. Why did you come back? The middle-aged man asked desperately. Thank you, Patrol Guard Wang. I want to ask how my brother and mother are. Jing Zhuoxiang's eyes went red as she asked. Patrol Guard Wang scanned Mo and then saluted with his fists to Jing Hai before saying, Mistress Jing Zhuoxiang, sorry. After the big palace lord was harmed, Wang Han really had no choice but to stay here. Jing Zhuoxiang nodded. Brother Wang, I don't blame you. You're not wrong. It's the bastard Wu Lin. My mother and brother. Patrol Guard Wang lowered his head. In order to not be assaulted, the palace lord wife committed suicide. Young palace lord is still in imprisonment. As for why they didn't do anything to the young palace lord, I don't know. Seeing Jing Zhuoxiang's tears, Patrol Guard Wang sighed to Jing Hai. Brother Jin, you should quickly take the mistress and leave. In a while, I'm planning to go try our luck with a few friends at South Peace State. The Songhai Palace isn't the same place as before, Sai. Suddenly, Patrol Guard Wang's face changed, and before he could react, another dashing light landed before Yi Mo's flying ship. Wang Han, I've long suspected you of being a spy. Now it seems I'm really right. I really want to see how you're going to explain yourself today. You dare to help the remaining Jing family scum escape. A cocky voice sounded. Wang Han didn't explain anything as he knew it was pointless. Yi Mo had long seen the dashing light. Wang Han was Disaster Transformation State Level 4, but the cultivator who came was Disaster Transformation State Level 6. Brother Jing, this person is Tong Hai Cult Cultivator Goei. He has done a lot of bad things in the Songhai Palace and harmed a lot of our brothers. After we kill him together, I will come with you guys. Wang Han made a quick judgment. Yi Mo nodded. This Wang Han made the best decision in this situation. Jing Hai nodded at Wang Han, but didn't answer. He looked at Yi Mo. Young Master Yi, what do you think? Jing Hai knew Yemo was as powerful as truth realization state cultivators, so he called him young master. It was also to remind Yemo that Yemo was his young master's best friend and urge him to save his young master. Wang Han was dazed. Jing Hai was the family servant of the Jing family. Why did he call someone he had never seen before young master? Yemo knew what Jing Hai meant, but he wasn't angry. Now that Jing Hai asked, Yemo said plainly, "Nothing to hesitate about, just attack." Just attack? Wang Han looked at Yemo, who was so much younger than him, and couldn't say a word. If it was a truth realization state peak stage cultivator who said this, it would be heroic and dominant, but coming from Yemo, it made him look like an idiot. The disaster transformation state level 6 who just came overheard this and laughed, flinging out a fireworks signal in the sky. Yemo didn't mind and just suddenly reached out a cultivation essence giant hand and grabbed at it. Seeing this, the disaster transformation state level 6 was shook. How could he not know that Yemo was a truth realization state cultivator? He wanted to run immediately, but soon he found he couldn't move at all. Domain, such a powerful domain. There was despair in the disaster transformation state, level 6 size. He watched the cultivation essence, giant, hand pick him up. With a crack, the disaster transformation state, level 6, turned into nothing under Yemo's cultivation essence, giant hand. Only a storage ring was left. Truth realization state cultivator. Wang Han called out in shock. He just realized that this cultivator younger than him was a truth realization state cultivator, a top grade one. Wang Hai's heart beat, rapidly seeing Yemo attack again. He was certain Yemo was definitely on par with the old palace lord. Not even the old palace lord could kill a disaster transformation state level 6 with one cultivation essence giant hand. Even Jing Zhuoxiang stopped her mourning and looked dazedly at Yemo's power. A disaster transformation state level 6 couldn't do anything in his hands. Just what absurd friend did her brother make? Jing Hai rejoiced. The more powerful Yemo was the more hope of the young master being rescued and the safer they were. Wang Han also woke up and immediately said, "Mistress Jing Zhuoxiang, Wang Han is willing to go with you guys to rescue the young master, no matter whether it means life or death." Then Wang Han bowed again. Wang Han greets Qian Bei. If it wasn't for Qian Bei, Wang Han wouldn't be a match for that person. Yemo nodded. "You're very good." Wang Han clearly didn't want to stay under the third palace lord. In such a situation, he could still persuade Jing Zhuoxiang to run and didn't forget his roots. Jing Zhuoxiang reacted and bowed to Wang Han, saying in a coarse voice, "Thank you for helping Big Brother Wang. I'm very grateful." Wang Han said seriously, "I was persuading you guys to go because I knew if you went to Songhai Palace, it wouldn't change anything. But with this truth realization state, Qian Bei, here we can try. That Yonglani isn't at our Songhai Palace, and Old Palace Lord still has a lot of followers, but many just can't resist like us." As soon as he said this, more than 10 dashing beams arrived rapidly. The leading man was a truth realization state level 1 cultivator, and the rest were disaster transformation state or cauldron filling state cultivators. The leading man was a truth realization state level 1 cultivator, and the rest were disaster transformation state or cauldron filling state cultivators. Wang Han, where is Guei? Didn't he? The truth realization state level 1 started to ask Wang Han, but before he finished, he saw Jing Zhuoxiang and immediately stopped questioning. His eyes turned cold. Before this truth realization state cultivator finished, Jing Zhuoxiang yelled, "Simulin, you've been with my father for so many years. Why did you betray the Songhai Palace and conspire with the animal from the Tonghai cult Yonglani?" The truth realization state, level 1, looked at Jing Zhuoxiang in contempt. Do I need to explain to you? Where did Gui go? Speak. Gui sent off the alarm signal, and he couldn't have left in such a short time. Jing Hai was only disaster transformation state level 7, and wasn't that much stronger than Gui. Even with Wang Han's help, they couldn't have killed Gui in such a short time. Thus, he was surprised Gui wasn't here. He then thought of something and reproached Wang Han. Did he chase after someone else? Before Wang Han replied, Mo said calmly, I killed the one who signaled. What? The truth realization state, level 1 said in shock. His power rose drastically and killing intent burst out like crazy. Those weaker cultivators all retreated. Even Wang Han felt uneasiness of breathing. He immediately knew he was enclosed in Simu Lin's domain and wanted to break free. Mo couldn't be bothered talking and released his domain too. With this, Simu Lin felt his domain was as thin as ice and was instantly crushed. Even Wang Han could hear the clear cracking sound. Half a second later, Wang Han felt he was completely free, but Simu Lin's face changed drastically. He immediately realized that Mo was many times more powerful than him. Just when he wanted to release his magic artifact, more than 10 wrist-sized black lightning arcs shot at him. Rumble, rumble, rumble. Those disaster transformation states and cauldron-filling states in Mo's domain couldn't resist at all, and all turned to dust. Simu Lin quickly burned a few mouthful of essence blood and forcefully broke free from Mo's domain. But before he could release his magic artifact, another lightning sword landed. With a splurge, blood and flesh flew off. With this, Simu Lin was sent flying. Just where did this maniac come from? He was this terrifying. There was nothing he could even do to resist. Holding back his terror, Simu Lin released a cultivation artifact shield, wanting to protect himself and then use blood mobility. A faint yellow rune was released, and Simu Lin spat a few mouthfuls of blood on it. Instantly, the rune emitted bright yellow light as though about to be activated. But soon, Simu Lin was disappointed. He found his rune was bound by Mo's domain and couldn't be activated. In his worry, Simu Lin immediately realized that other than begging for mercy, only death awaited him. Qianbei. He began, but an even thicker lightning arc fell. With a crack, Simu Lin's shield shattered and flew apart. However, the lightning didn't stop there and continued to fall onto his head. There was despair in his eyes as Simu Lin fell into the sea. His soul was eradicated too. Wang Han and them looked at the empty sea. If they weren't here, they wouldn't have thought anyone was here before. In about 10 seconds, Mo killed more than 10 people, including a truth realization state cultivator. Even the truth realization state cultivator was instantly killed by Mo Jing. Hai's heart beat even more rapidly. Mo took the storage ring and said, "Let's go to the Songhai 3 Islands." Wang Han came back to his senses. It seemed his decision was right. This Qianbei was at least truth realization state, tertiary stage. The Songhai Palace was so famous greatly due to their main palace, the Golden Palace. It was a remnant from the ancient times. Even without spirit gathering formations, the spirit chi inside was very dense. Another benefit of this palace was to refine spirit sense. Inside the palace, a black robed cultivator was sitting on the main seat, drinking wine. However, he didn't seem happy at all, and instead had a frown on his face. This was the previous 3rd palace, Lord Wulin. Other than the great and 2nd palace lord, he had the highest authority. But power was like drugs. Once you were addicted, you couldn't get out of it. He felt he was confined in here too much. Whether it was the 2 palace lords or the 2 paid guests, they were people he couldn't control. He didn't want this. He wanted his words to be divine orders that no one would dare to argue. At this moment, Yong Lani sent him a purple luolan and persuaded him to be independent. With this, Wulin eventually agreed. With their careful planning, they ambushed the two other palace lords and successfully took power. Wu Lin thought that with the two palace lords gone, that Songhai Palace would naturally all be his. But only later did he realize how simply he thought things through. He indeed killed the two palace lords, but Songhai Palace didn't come under his management as he expected. The two paid guests left, and the rest of the cultivators didn't want to listen to him and went into internal conflict. In that battle, Songhai Palace didn't even have a third of its original power. If this was it, Wu Lin would take it as he believed in time, that Songhai Palace would regain its former glory. But the fact was more and more cultivators were leaving. Even though he used extremely harsh measures, he couldn't stop them from leaving. At this moment, he realized that he was the third palace lord because he was he least popular. What he was most annoyed about was that after Yonglani helped him kill the two palace lords, he took 80% of Songhai Palace's wealth. On top of that, he said Songhai Palace would have to supply many herbs and materials to him, as Songhai Palace was now a subordinate of the Tonghai cult. He thought his power would greatly increase after becoming the only palace lord, but now it seemed greatly diminished instead. Now he realized that Yonglani was scared of the big palace lord and the second palace lord together. Now that they were dead, how could Yonglani be scared of him? Wu Lin, you sly bastard. A coarse girl's voice interrupted Wu Lin's thoughts. Wu Lin shook and got up suddenly. Who could come in here and swear at him? Zhuoxiang. Wu Lin subconsciously called and then looked at Yemo next to her. Clearly, she was here due to this young man. Zhuoxiang. Wu Lin subconsciously called and then looked at Yemo next to her. Clearly, she was here due to this young man. Wu Lin was confused. Even though Songhai Palace was at its weakest, the young man shouldn't be able to come here. There were 6 truth realization states before, but now only him and Simu Lin were left. Even though Simu Lin was truth realization state level 1, how could this young cultivator stop him? If not, then how was he here? Wu Lin scanned his spirit sense out, and the next moment his face changed greatly. He found his spirit sense couldn't go out of this palace, meaning that someone had set up formation outside. You don't need to use spirit sense, it won't be able to scan out. I've set up a formation outside. Yi Mo said calmly. Jing Hai and Wang Han went to gather up the remaining cultivators of the palace, and didn't come in with Yi Mo. Mo didn't want Wu Lin to know this. There were no more truth realization state cultivators left, and using the name of the old palace lord, Wang Han and Jing Hai should be able to take back the place. Wu Lin, you bastard. What did my father and Uncle Qin do wrong to you? You brought a wolf into our house and conspired with Yonglani to annihilate our Songhai Palace animal. Jing Zhuoxiang knew she was no match for him otherwise. She would have fought him already. W. Lin's face was very bad, but ignored Jing Zhuoxiang. If he could go back to before, he definitely wouldn't do this. Yi Mo scanned with spirit sense and saw that Wang Han and Jing Hai's situation didn't seem to be too well. It wasn't that someone was fighting them, but they didn't have enough charisma to gather the people. He immediately said to Jing Zhuoxiang, Sister Zhuoxiang, how about you go out and help them? I'll deal with here. Jing Zhuoxiang immediately understood what Yi Mo meant and nodded, leaving the place without hesitation. Wu Lin also realized there were things going on outside, but before Jing Zhuoxiang reached the door, he grabbed with his cultivation essence giant hand. How could he let her leave? Moments later, Wu Lin's face changed. Jing Zhuoxiang walked out of the palace unaffected while his cultivation essence giant hand disappeared like a joke. Domain. Your truth realization state cultivator? Wu Lin suddenly got up and a white ray appeared in his hand. It was a white sword without a handle. Yi Mo said calmly, If I'm not truth realization state, what would I be doing here? Yi Mo also released Zissou. He was prideful, but he was only a truth realization state level 3. He didn't overestimate himself to the extent that he didn't need to use magic artifact against a truth realization state level 9. There were truth realization state level 9 cultivators more powerful than him. Su and Shan, Shur Taa, and that evil spirit. If Suo Enshan wasn't heavily injured, he was definitely no match for him. Shur Taa also only had less than half of his power too. If Suo Enshan wasn't injured, then even though his body refinement was God state, he would at most be able to stay alive. It was impossible to kill Suo Enshan. This Wu Lin was at most Di Xueming's level. Despite this, Yi Mo didn't underestimate him. Wu Lin didn't hold back at all. His white sword instantly turned into countless sword rays. These sword rays sliced across Yi Mo's domain unaffected. In the blink of an eye, they surrounded Yi Mo. Yi Mo was enveloped by these vibrant white sword rays. While these sword rays passed his domain, Yi Mo was shook. There really were anything in the cultivation realm. There were sword rays that weren't affected by domain. With such speed and power, Yi Mo couldn't even use octagonal cauldron in time. Thud, thud, thud. Countless white sword rays splashed everywhere. Yi Mo was caught off guard and surrounded by these sword ray explosions. Wu Lin's face was pale, but he breathed easy. He used his secret technique, straight up. He knew that Yi Mo would be no simple character to dare to come here. Jing Shuixiang clearly went out to set people to rebel against him. He had to kill Yi Mo as quickly as possible. Once Yi Mo was dead, Jing Shuixiang was just an insect. The entire palace was rattling with the power of the explosion. Yi Mo didn't expect Wu Lin to have such secret technique. If it was before, he could only go hide in the Golden Page world, but now he didn't feel the threat of being killed. The blades ravaged on his body. Yi Mo heard his armor and skin being ripped, but even the most powerful one could only make a red mark on his skin. Yi Mo exclaimed. The God state body refinement was too powerful. Even if he was no match for Wu Lin, it was very hard for Wu Lin to kill him. The explosion disappeared quickly. Wu Lin looked at Yi Mo in disbelief. Yi Mo only had some messy hair and clothes, and the blood marks were beginning to disappear from his body. What person was this? He was completely fine under the explosion of his secret technique. He definitely used his body to stop the explosion. How was this powerful? No matter how powerful the cultivator, he couldn't be unscathed. The hardest part about that move wasn't the explosion, but encompassing the opponent with the sword ray. Some opponents could react fast and escape before being trapped. Yi Mo was trapped, and Wu Lin was certain his move worked, but now Yi Mo stood completely fine in front of him. To be able to be completely fine, Yi Mo must be a body refinement master, one who was at the top, but Wu Lin didn't believe Yi Mo would be one. Before W Lin could talk, Yi Mo hacked out with Zissou and said, "This time it's my turn." Wu Lin was truth realization state level 9, but he didn't dare to take it head on. But in that instant, the purple ray was before him. Wu Lin released the white sword, forming a white veil blocking in front of him. Crack! The purple ray and the white veil clashed, and a few black wrinkles appeared on the white veil. At the same time, the veil cracked again, disappearing. A thin white sword was sent flying. Wu Lin was shook. Yi Mo's purple ray was too fast. Just when he released another shield, he heard another crack. The shield was sliced in half and blood splashed out. So powerful. Wu Lin retreated tens of steps, smashing against the wall of the palace, while looking at Yi Mo in shock. Yi Mo was about to attack again, but Wu Lin suddenly stopped with his hand. "Wait, I'm no match for you, and I don't expect you to let me go. With your power, you can dominate even in the Heartless Sea. Why would someone like you help Jing Shuixiang? If you can tell me, I will die satisfied. Jing Zhuoxiang was that ugly, Wu Lin would never believe Yi Mo would be interested in her, and came to help. Yi Mo sneered. I'm not here to help Jing Zhuoxiang. I came here to kill Yonglani, of course. Jing Xiangdong is my friend. Jing Xiangdong has a friend like you. Wu Lin said this in despair, and then he emitted a withered chi. You're tuning in to the Thunder Spear YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.